What's going on, y'all? Senor Solis in the house. We got a good Purple Pill Pod class episode coming on y'all today, episode 94. Shout out to my special guest tonight. We got Poor Man Podcast in the house. Go ahead, introduce yourself, bro.
My name is Travion Clark. I run a channel called The Poor Man's Podcast. Y'all can find me on YouTube. On Instagram is poor.mans.podcast. So that's where y'all can find me.
Hell yeah. Now, everybody, like the video on y'all's way in right now, please. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber yet. Hit that notification bell also so you can see every time we got live shows coming up. We're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube all at the same time. Please go add us on Instagram, though. I got these beautiful ladies added right now on my Instagram story. I want y'all to go follow them to show them some love since they drove all the way out here for us. Show them some love back. If you want support, do a super chat or become a channel member if you want. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get right into it, guys. We'll go check out Purple Pill Pod Live and go subscribe on there so we can get the algo to help us on that one too. But yeah, otherwise, let's just get into it, guys. I really wanted to talk about relationships today and just how we're going to get into them today, because obviously it's a little bit harder than ever to get into a relationship. So we're going to talk about what is the barriers between getting into a relationship now, and what's stopping it from being easy how it used to be, I guess. To start off though, let's just do name, age, education level, what you do for work, your relationship status.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm 21. I do modeling, acting, social media, and also political work as well. And I'm from around Dallas.
Are you single?
Oh, I'm taken.
Taken, guys. What about you?
All right, my name is Michaela. I am 20, turning 21 in 1 month. I'm just a server right now, working on trying to get back into school and stuff. And I am single, unfortunately. What was the other question?
Relationship status, age,
Education
level.
Education. I did some college, trying to get back into it.
Barely. Yeah. So what did you so I always say there's different kinds of singles. Like, what kind of single are you? Because there's like single where you're like not like with anybody at all, and then there's like
Single, like just got out of the relationship, like not even a month ago. That kind of single, like we're just chilling.
You got a side dude yet?
No, nothing like that.
Just
Still, just chilling.
Would you like a side dude?
Hey,
I mean, I'm not really looking for it right now.
Okay, I mean, sometimes the chat be wild and they ask these type of questions. I'm just
Right.
asking for them. It's
Oh,
not
you're
me, I
good.
promise. Bro, can you give them a little shout out to like your stats for everybody to know?
Yeah,
for people that know?
My name is Travion Clark. 28 years old. I was born in Wilmington, North Carolina, but I moved to Minnesota, so I would say I'm a Minnesotan.
Now you're a Texan, bro.
What was the other question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Texan now, but that's where I'm from.
Relationship status and work, school,
Oh yeah, I'm married. For work, I'm just a YouTuber. At school, I got a bachelor's degree, criminal justice.
Okay.
Nice.
What up, my boy?
Go ahead and flex on them. How long have you been with your wife?
Well, I met her when she was 14 and I was 15. And we've been together since then. So I'm 28 now. So that was,
Wow.
Yeah, it's like he has the coolest love story ever,
That's
guys.
cute.
I had to have him flex on y'all.
Yeah.
What-
Valid.
Hi, I'm Genevieve. I'm 25. I turn 26 next month in October. I am a full-time fashion model and content creator. I was recently a director of marketing, but quit that shit. I am newly single as of Monday.
As of Monday.
As of
Damn.
Monday.
That's
Yeah.
recent.
This week, like
real recent.
4 days ago.
It's a cold world, guys.
We went to school for educational psychology, and I am local to Dallas.
What did you say you went to school for?
Educational psychology.
Educational psychology. That's
Yeah.
crazy. In your classroom, how many people were in there that were men and women?
It was a fairly equal,
It
I'd
was
say
50-50?
50%.
Okay.
Crazy enough, so the education side was mostly females and the psychology side was mostly males. So it really depended on where on that spectrum of degree you were focused.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering because there's a study I speak on a lot, and it's like 80% of people going to school for psychology right now are women, and for college. So that's why I was asking for anecdotal to know if you saw 50-50 or if you saw one or the other. I'm not sure which college they showed that at, but it was only a specific school that they showed that for.
I'd say
It wasn't all
50-50.
schools. It was a specific school that they said that for. What about you, though? 50-50. What would you say, though? Name, age, education level, where you do for work, all that.
I'm
Thanks for coming back
Kaylee.
too, by the way.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm Kaylee. I'm
Oh,
22.
hell to the no. You brought this bitch back to the single
Hey, well there. um, but I'm in my 4th year of college. I just changed degrees, so I'm just getting like basic business degree. I do real estate transactions coordinating basically, and I coach club volleyball. Yeah, I think I covered everything.
You gonna flex on
Oh,
with your
and then-
dancing skills?
Oh yeah, and I country dance. I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff. I do
Yeah.
art. I dance. If you need art or want to watch a kind of cute girl stream, you should go follow me. I'm Squiggles. But
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
are we
single.
putting out our ads and stuff? Are we doing that?
I
too?
did it for
If you
Twitch
want,
because
yeah.
I did it last time, so I'm doing it again.
Did you even get a viewer from it? Did you?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. I was at
I was wondering.
I was at like 60. I was literally at 69 before the show, and then I posted it, and then some people were like, "Oh my god, you stream!" And with some people seeing yours, I got up to like 89, I think. So
Wow,
pretty
that's
good.
dope.
Yeah.
Good
It's kinda
job.
cool, yeah, thank
It
you.
always ends up working well for the girls. What about you though? You know what to say. Thank you for coming back.
The rundown. My name is Amelia. I am 30. I was a nursing student, dropped out, but I am a certified wellness coach, and I'm also a community advocate. I have my own nonprofit, so I do a lot of inner city work. And then relationship status is engaged.
Engaged.
Aw,
Congratulations, guys. Yeah, no, ladies, she is this your second time or third time coming on? Third time, yeah. And I can't express like how crazy the difference was from your first and your second time.
Yeah.
Like it was like a night and day difference. And then so yeah, it's really cool that because you were engaged last time you came, right?
Well, we were working.
Y'all were
on it.
working on it, yeah. So no, I'm really happy it's official and everything. Where did you get the ring at?
We got it from Zelle.
He got from Zales.
Yeah,
Okay.
with
If anybody doesn't know, I do engagement rings, guys. So if you ever need a ring, hit me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
For our next ring. What is it, like 5 years or whatever?
Yeah, you can do that if you want. Everybody's changing it up now because the economy is not the same as it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
People used to be so serious about like doing a lot of things, and it's just not happening anymore. Like because the follow up with jewelry stores is everything with married people. And the whole reason why I even kind of got into this, guys, because I did jewelry before this, was because people are getting married like they were,
Yeah.
5,
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago, and it's just like, I should start a show on relationships to try to see like what's going on here. Like why is the math not adding up right now?
The math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathing, guys. But no, first question, I just really want to know for y'all personally, what would you say is the biggest barrier for relationships for you today? Even the ones that are single or the ones that are in or the people that just got broken up or whatever. What's the barrier that was the hardest in your opinion?
The barrier, I would have to say a lot of friends and family, because I don't know, like a lot of my friends that I have, they're very into like the toxic, they like being in the streets, and I mean they even like admitted it themselves too. So it's just,
Douche
like,
nozzles.
That was the
it's
real one.
different for me because like I'm a lover girl, like I'm lovey-dovey, hopeless romantic. So like having their opinions or like anything that they have to say does affect me in a way when it comes to relationships, but at the same time not, because I let it affect me as much as I want to affect me, you know? But
Mm.
yeah.
Oh
No,
my God, that
that's
was
good.
so funny.
What do you think is the biggest barrier for relationships right now?
Definitely communication. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, everybody's on their phone. Nobody's doing face to face anymore. Like you can't even go on a date anymore without someone checking their phone constantly. It feels like, and I'm
Instagram got your bitch.
definitely communication. Just making sure that other person is comfortable with things. Because like I mean, it's just that's just all it is really. Just making sure you're talking with one another and spending quality time together.
In your opinion, who has the bigger communication issue? Is it usually the men in general? Do you think it's usually the men or the women?
I like to think that it's kind of 50-50. I know it probably isn't, but I think it kind of depends on the person. Because I will say, I think one of my factors was I was constantly kind of like looking at other things to do maybe, and I wasn't like paying attention as much as I probably should have. But I know some men are also the same way. Like they don't want to, do like the little romantic things anymore, like buying flowers or like even like little things like going on like dates that aren't just like spending money, just like quality time, hanging out,
It's all
like
about the little things.
it's
So-
little things.
So like you brought up like the little things like buying flowers and stuff like that. I would argue that most guys want to do those things.
Right.
Like
It's
probably
hard.
like 80 and 90% of them like are willing and wanting to do those things.
Mhm.
But it's like a small percentage of dudes that are like the big assholes that don't need to do that. But like a
Right.
lot of guys kind of just to get pussy, they got to go get the flowers.
Right. And it's more like when you're long term in a relationship, like that first part, like you're all lovey dovey, you're all like romantic. It's that first like those wedding nights. I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry.
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon
Honeymoon
stage.
stage.
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon
that
stage.
puppy love stage.
And then
Yeah.
eventually you guys get so used to each other that you guys
Too
aren't doing
comfortable.
those little acts of like romanticism anymore, and it's just kind of falls
It
out.
kills
a little
it
bit.
kills the whole.
that-
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
hard to get started back onto that, and that's just my opinion, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, that's probably just because that's when you know a person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
all the
you're way more
honeymoon phase.
comfortable.
Yeah, well, the honeymoon phase is just you acting like a different person in
Yeah,
order to be with the person.
that's true.
you're with.
But like
Doing
it's
your
also like
best.
little things, like remembering things, like in
Yeah.
conversations I've talked about. Like I don't like necessarily repeating like myself. Like if you know like Dr. Pepper or something, it's like great, she likes that, and then like later on you forget and whatever. Like if you're allergic to peanuts or something, and these are like little things, not like the real things. But I mean like being more of a gentleman and like opening car doors and stuff. Like when you get used to each other, you stop doing those little bitty things, and I think it just kind of means a little bit like to keep doing them.
Chivalry.
Chivalry, yes.
Chivalry. Okay.
Dead. Doesn't
Mhm.
exist
It's
anymore.
dead. Who killed it?
It's probably just because I mean times are changing. There are a lot of people, they don't have like those like roles that they used to have. They just feel like everything's like 50-50 equal. Like
I want to ask everybody that one
Yeah.
really quick. Who killed
Yeah.
chivalry? You think was it men or women? Let's if we can be
Ooh.
specific.
I don't.
Can we all answer the first question before we start
Oh
the
no,
second
but
question?
well, sometimes I go layers off like
Oh my
this, and we'll go
gosh.
back to it.
I'd probably say men.
Hmm?
I
Men,
wa-
Yeah.
what do you think?
Social media.
You think social media? What do you think?
Well, yeah.
Who
Okay.
killed chivalry?
I want to say both, but only because for women, it's the ones that kind of go like a little too far with the feminism, like
Yeah.
equal
Yeah.
rights. Let's be real, not equal fights. You know how there's kind of like a line. That's how I am in thinking that. But
Yeah.
also on the men's side, if they were like beating their wives to where now girls can actually like go to school, get their own education, and leave. So it just kind of like slowly split and split and split and split. In my opinion, on like both ends with their own issues.
Chivalry. Who do you think? ruined it?
I honestly, I think women kill chivalry more than men. Hot take. Let me explain. So the whole perspective of chivalry, it's what a man does and why he does it and how it makes the woman he feels, how it makes her feel when he does it, kind of thing. If you have a woman who has these huge expectations, but she's not really doing a lot in her man's eyes to say that she deserves the chivalry, then why would he be chivalrous? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the women
Do you know
aren't
what your-
valuable enough to be
Not,
chivalrous
I won't say
too?
valuable enough, because starting to value a human being for what they do for you is not how you should value a human being.
Let's compare to cars. I'm just kidding.
No,
Oh.
it's not. So do you know what Johari's window is?
What's that?
It's a term in psychology used to explain that there's many different viewpoints for one situation. If you look through Johari's window at chivalry, it is just as important to determine why a man wants to be chivalrous to a woman as it is why a woman wants a man to be chivalrous to her. And if those two don't add up, if he doesn't have the correct motivations and if she is not motivating him, it won't happen.
Good.
So I
point.
don't think I think a man will be chivalrous right off the bat. Obviously, like, hi, you're gorgeous. Can I buy you a drink? Sure. And then once the woman starts performing in a certain way, he will continue to be chivalrous. If she no longer performs in that way, he has no motivation to continue. So I think
That's a good
women
point.
kill chivalry.
Okay. No, good point.
Sorry, that was way too long of an opinion.
No, you did great.
That was a good opinion.
You did
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
What do you think, bro? Who do you think killed it?
Oh,
If you don't agree with me, I swear to God.
I agree with you in a sense. I think, just kind of to piggyback off what you said a little bit, I think it came from the fact that it's been promoted for women to take advantage of men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like,
It's like,
literally,
don't do anything if he doesn't treat you like a queen, don't do it. Okay,
Yeah.
but are you acting like a queen?
yeah, exactly. So like when you see the promotion of feminism and when you listen to the music, the modern music, pretty much all the modern music coming from the female perspective is pretty much telling other women how they can take advantage of a man financially.
Yeah, like still be slutty.
Yeah, so
Or, like-
so when you're not doing certain things as a woman to like for a man, he don't want to be chivalrous
Exactly.
to you, like you said. But also what comes with it is men are gonna react to what women respond to, and if women stop responding to chivalry, men are gonna stop doing it.
Yeah.
So if women only dated good guys, the world would be full of good guys. But
Yep.
since women date assholes, niggas got to be assholes.
Yep.
So that's just kind of where we are. So,
We just saw that we get more when we act like assholes. Like it
Yeah.
only takes you a few
Yeah.
times before you're like, oh damn,
yeah.
I should just be a dick now because that gets me further than bringing the flowers.
Yeah.
Like the flowers actually bite you in the ass 9 times out of 10 when you're dating as a man.
Because like
I
nice guys
mean-
finish last or
Yes,
whatever.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like if you're putting that out, then you're gonna get the more shitty woman, in my opinion. Like if you put in the work for me, and like for me, I'd like to say I'm a good girlfriend, in my opinion. Then it's like, oh sweet, but if you're doing more, of
So
the
sometimes
feminine-
like it is so like we say it's what's the word? It's femininity when you feel like it. Like what's called when it's like that? It's only when you feel like it.
Conditional.
Conditional
It's conditional.
femininity.
yeah,
And like
yeah,
it shouldn't be. I think that you should always be resting in femininity, just always being that way, and making it a habit because when you put conditions on it, then that's when you act kind of like what she's saying, then the
Mhm.
opposite direction, and then that makes him act the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were just in your femininity the whole time, you'd been fine. What do you think about what's stopping relationships though today, bro?
Love
Like,
it, we're
what's the
gonna go back to
boundaries?
that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good about
can't
going back
wait.
to it.
No, he has wait.
what's stopping relationships right now?
The biggest boundary, you think?
I think it's so many different aspects to that though. Like that's really hard to just pin down for one thing. But I don't think that anything that we have right now in our culture is helping relationships. Like as far
Ooh.
as it could be social media,
True.
it could
You
be
can
the
just say
promotion of
everything.
feminism,
Everything.
it could be the economy. Doesn't
Yeah.
nothing promote relationships at this point. So
Mhm.
it's really hard to just pinpoint one thing. But I think feminism definitely killed it.
Bro, I mean,
Like,
that's the best point you
because-
can make, though, is that just all of it.
Yeah, because what feminism did in particular is when it taught women to be promiscuous with like the sexual revolution, is it just made it so that the men at the very top get all the options. So the men like me, it's no problem for me. But for a lot of other dudes, it's hard to tie down relationships because women feel like they want more.
Yeah.
Hypergamy. What do you think is stopping relationships?
Okay,
today?
so again, long answer. First one, I think social media and the internet is the worst thing because back in the day before the internet existed, unless you had a friend setting you up or you saw a cute girl on the bus, you didn't have incredibly easy access
Yeah.
to just troves of the other gender or whatever you're into. And nowadays, all you have to do is download Bumble or get that new pairing that people are doing, or like literally just get on
One of the racial
Instagram.
dating apps. There's so many racial ones too.
There's
Yeah,
so
that's true.
many
But what I'm
dating
saying
apps
is that
and-
there's it's everyone is at everyone else's fingertips, and it's so easy, even if you're already in a relationship, to just see somebody else on social media, and it's like you never would have met that person in a million years, but now that you've seen their Instagram profile, you're like, who's that? So that's one. Two, I do think there's something to be said about modern femininity and just that gender roles in general aren't what they used to be. And traditional gender roles promote relationships, and modern masculinity and modern femininity don't line up. Their path does not equal marriage and children and monogamy like it used to. And so if monogamy and children is not like it's not everyone's goal anymore, then what's the point of getting the relationship if that's not even where you're trying to go anymore?
Yeah, and I think they brainwashed us to not want the family and not want the kids. Like I think that they sold us the lie of going on vacations and spending our money right,
Funny,
living
like-
in the moment is better than like
That's what I've
living
always
for
said.
the future.
It's like people are like, just take it a day at a time, like spend it. But yeah, but you can go day to day at a time, and then you blink and it's been 5 years.
Yeah,
So if you're not, I don't say like live every single day towards your end goal of your future because you never know what's going to happen in life, but also just don't take it day by day because then you're not working towards anything. And it's that people in this day and age don't work towards anything anymore.
yeah, they give up more because, like you said, there's so many options.
Yes.
What do you think? What's the biggest barrier to relationships working today?
So two things. One is that everyone thinks that there's like a better option out there no matter what because all the dating apps, all social
Mhm.
media, it's like, sure, I can get all this attention and make him my situationship boyfriend to where I get everything out of this and he'll get everything he wants out of it. But let's say if I hypothetically met this dude on Bumble and I think we would match better, I'm just going to leave him and go with the other one. I feel like that's a lot of like personally, if I'm talking to someone, I'm talking to them. Like that's where my attention focuses. Like hyper focus on that mother hecker, give them all my love and affection. But other people, like I see my homegirls, like yeah, like I stayed at his house for a month, but I'm gonna go start staying with this guy now and just like totally flip the script without even saying anything and just
Yeah.
like I think it's a better option. I get wanting to see if there's better options, but there's a point where it's like you can't just go test out the entire world, like meet someone that you genuinely enjoy. And then a mix of like the economy and politics. So like extremist on anything mixed with in the economy, like no one has enough money to go on dates, no one has enough money to go out. Guys don't want to buy you drinks at the bar because it costs $25 for something like the girl
That's
might
true.
actually want.
Yeah.
There like the rent going up. There's just so many outside factors where there's just adults like all our age having to live at home again. You don't want to invite a bitch over if you're living in your mom's house. Like, let's be real. They want to wait until they have enough money to financially support them. Like for marriage, guys don't want to get married until they can financially support themselves, their wives, their kids. Same concept for relationships. Sorry, I've dated broke dudes and they kind of feel like shit because they can't do anything nice for me. I don't care if there's zero money in it whatsoever. Like we can go do something nice, cook a happy ramen meal. I don't give a rat's booty, but it's also like
cook a spread.
If they want to be a dude and try to work their way up to the 1% so that they can like want to deserve me more, like, hey, go at it. Like, thanks.
Okay.
That's yeah.
What do you think is the biggest boundary for relationships?
I mean, I feel like everybody pretty much hit.
Yeah, everybody hit hard.
It always sucks being at the end of the.
Oh God.
But, I would say definitely unrealistic expectations of each other, you know, and then it kind of leads you back to social media because you see these models.
To the mic for us.
Yeah, you might need to turn hers up a little bit, bro. She's gold.
All right.
Okay, so we use social media. We see all of these hot dudes, models, these people going on trips, and like, you know, these people living this like nice lifestyle, and we want that from a partner. And so we go into these relationships having these expectations of a hot guy, hot body, you know, all of that good sex and all of those things. And the first time something comes and it kind of turns you off, you like, oh nah, it's not my person.
The first date, yeah, the first date.
So, but what?
Makes it real.
Who would you say? Who would you say that affects the most? Would you say that affect women more or men more? Because
honestly, I used to think it affected the women more because we just want some, you know, I think women are more affected by social media because we want this so-fitted lifestyle that men really don't. But then sometimes I think it, like lately, men are kind of like going more on the feminine, you know, not all men. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying a lot of men do live for Instagram and
attention.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, attention is to women what sex is to men.
Exactly.
So like, and I would agree. There's a lot of guys who got that shit backwards and they like want vanity and all types of
validation and things.
well,
it's kind of funny.
You know, the reason I ask is because like oftentimes I hear like there just being more options, but most men don't have any options. So like when you say there's this abundance of people that you could just like message on Instagram or you see on Instagram, most men don't look at those women and think I'm gonna have a chance with that woman. But women, on the other hand, they look at those dudes and they look at those situations and they think that could be me.
I think
See, I don't agree. I've never found someone I wanted to like hit up on Instagram and be like, oh, I'm gonna slide this guy's DMs. I've never done that.
Well, I hope not. It's not your strategy.
But you look at the lifestyle and you want that lifestyle. It makes you want that lifestyle more.
Oh, men do that too. Men covet other men's success like a fire drake in its dragon horn.
Yeah, but I think men are more accepting of where. But I think men are more accepting of where they are in the hierarchy.
Not at all.
No.
Couldn't disagree more. We'll get into that.
So you think a man that ain't doing nothing with his life?
I'd love for Amelia to finish her point, and then we can get into this.
And then I'm gonna clean it up.
Yeah.
Clean it up. And I'm trying to think that I hope I didn't lose my thought. But no, so going back to men, I don't think that men are hitting these women up, but they're having this expectation. It's just like somebody overloading on porn. Like they think that their sex life is about to be like this when they get with someone. So I see it is like these men are seeing these Instagram models, these, you know, all of these good things. So when they go out into reality and this woman does come that might be on his level, he's expecting her to, you know, come with it. And, you know, that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Like, I think another thing is that we are not dating in our bracket.
Yeah. If we look at statistics, people usually end up with people in their same bracket. And a lot of people are going up and under.
Such a sidebar. Another thing I was thinking of is like Facetune, and so
a
lot of guys. Whenever a man goes, she's so pretty, look at her natural makeup, and I'm like, that shit is edited. It's edited so much. And so whenever I see that and then them be like, why aren't you like this porn star, why aren't you built like this? And it's like, first off, I don't have fake tits, I don't have a fake ass, I don't get liposuction, whatever the heck. Like I'm like a normal person. I was just saying like the unrealistic expectations on kind of both ends. Like, yes, girls are like, I prefer a man taller than me, but also like the other way around, whenever it's like, I want a skinny girl with big boobs and this and that and this and that.
Like, do you know how anatomy works?
Because it's like, because of social media and it's like, oh, all these girls look like this. It's just like, no, we don't. Look at them in person. That's not real.
Well, see, a lot of that comes from the fact that women don't shame other women anymore. When a woman used to come outside with a face full of makeup and no clothes on, women used to go, you're a whore. Put some clothes on, because there are men out here.
And you know what
and that's going to build a certain expectation. But since women don't have any standards for each other anymore. They say you could go, girl, do whatever you want to do. Women are competing more and more than ever
Yeah.
to try
Yeah.
to meet a
And
certain expectation.
this isn't like a fat body shame thing or anything like that, but one thing is like I do see a lot of girls be like, yeah, you get a girl whenever they're a little bigger. I'm okay with you being whatever size you get. I fluctuate in weight all the time, but if you're at the point of being unhealthy to where like I'm worried about you,
I'm not.
that's
gonna
not the
support
time
that,
to be
yeah.
like, yeah, boss bitch, like get it. It's supposed to be like, hey, let's talk about diet plans.
Because every
And
girl,
like, because your mental health is not. There's no way it can be good if you're unhappy with yourself.
yeah,
So.
every girl will say that that Lizzo is beautiful, but if you tell them they look like Lizzo, they get offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to.
Didn't
You're
Lizzo
right.
call her fans like fat or something? She's like, I'm
Something.
obese, but y'all are fat. There's a difference. And I was like, oh, whoa, whoa.
That's what addiction looks like when everybody can see it.
So
Yeah.
you said that women don't like slut shame anymore. That's so true. Like there's no gender standards anymore. Just like men will be like, hey, like I've totally got this girlfriend, but I'm gonna go like see somebody else this weekend. And his friends are like, love that, like go off, dude, like do whatever. And all of that stems from
That never happens.
no, I'm saying from personal experience, it does.
Yeah. Same.
Well, see,
Yeah.
what you're talking about is the men that you see, and you know that women only see the men that they desire. And so
Modern
all
men.
the women will see this caliber of men that have the options to go and cheat. But for most men, cheating ain't an option because to cheat, you have to be
Okay,
at
and
a
I
certain
think
level.
that's again another thing at your heart. Like you might be talking about different men that I'm talking about. The kind of men that I go for are
Yeah,
the kinds
that's
of
the-
plenty of options.
Well,
to
yeah,
cheat.
well, you're going after the men that all
You're going
the
after
women
the
are
pick of the
going for.
leader.
Yeah,
You're going
Yeah,
after
I'm
the
going-
top 4.5%.
That's the problem.
If
That's
you were
the
talking
problem
about-
with feminism that
You're
I
talking about
talked about.
brackets. You were talking about
Yeah,
brackets. So if we're talking about like dating within a bracket, not to be self-centered, but I know, just knowing myself, that I'm going to go for a certain caliber of man.
Yeah.
The kind of caliber of men that I can go for have options. So cheating is way more of a realistic
Factor.
thing to worry about. And this is not a hate on men thing. Like I agree. Women don't hold themselves to the same standard. They don't hold each other to the same standard, but neither do men.
But like, if you could choose the 80-90% men that don't cheat, though, it's a woman's choice. Like, you don't have to choose the guys that cheat, but y'all choose
But we
those
don't-
guys.
No, we don't. When
Most women
Yeah,
do choose those
women do
guys.
too.
when I've been
That's what I'm
cheated
talking
on,
about.
it's never been the kind of guy who I could ever see cheating. And
But
they did anyway.
but you said you
Oh,
only
yeah.
date men that have other options.
I'm saying that they look like they're not the kind of like slum or scrub that's gonna look at a girl on Instagram and be like, I could never get her.
Like
the
how-
kind of guys I go for, they're successful, they're educated,
Yeah.
they're
That-
attractive.
Yeah, and in the current market, those are the type of men that all the women are going for.
Yeah, there's
And so
like,
y'all
like the
piped up
percentage is
these
small.
y'all piped up these women that might not be to the caliber you believe you on, to thinking that they can get those men and they deserve those men.
That's
So-
true.
So now all of those women are just throwing themselves at those types of men because
That
that's-
doesn't mean just because you have options you should go for them. That's still at the end of the day, that's the man's choice to cheat. Just it's a woman's choice to cheat. The only person who has any influence on someone cheating is the cheater.
But like, you
Yeah.
gotta understand,
There's
there's
a
different
block
types of
button
cheating, though.
for
This is a huge issue today. Like, men have 17 times testosterone of women, okay, and that's directly tied to your ability to be horny. So, and then our testosterone spikes. It's not like estrogen, where estrogen goes based off of your cycle. Our testosterone spikes based off of needing to fight somebody immediately, or we see a sexy person. So you don't even know what it feels like to fathom what it feels like for a breeze to go past your dick and you get horny from it. You don't even know what that feels like. And then cheating is not the same between men and women. When a woman cheats, she usually has an affair. Like, she's falling in love with that other person.
Like it's
So whereas
emotional.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
well,
emotional.
yeah,
Whereas when
well-
a guy cheats, sometimes he can just get his dick sucked and come right back home, and it's not the same. So we always be comparing these things. We use the word cheat, and there literally should be like two different words, because it's not the same for men and women.
yeah, well, a lot of women they've been lied to about a man's nature.
Yeah.
There's been no point in human history where a man who could obtain multiple women didn't have multiple women. And that's just unfortunate truth.
Then why are we
Uh-oh.
talking about it being a problem now if it's always been a problem?
Because
Well,
women don't
because
want to deal
women
with it
don't-
now.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, men are willing to lie to women to.
We also used to live in a society where it's socially acceptable for a man to come home from work and hit his wife if he had a bad enough day.
I don't think that was ever acceptable.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely
Have
acceptable.
you ever heard of
Before
the
women can vote, the
40s
1900s.
through 60s in U.S. history?
yeah,
I wouldn't say
Well,
it's acceptable.
shut up,
but it was
bitch.
normalized.
Fight me.
well, this
yeah,
what I'm trying to say.
normalized.
is-
Yeah, you're definitely
What I'm
right
trying
on
to say
that.
is, it is what it is. If you want a man, that's just what comes with a man. That's
No,
what-
beat up? No,
no, no,
See
no,
now,
no, no,
now,
no.
see now, when a
Like
man
cheating?
does have a woman that he loves, and he has religion, and he has other things put in
Yes.
place, he develops a morality.
Yes.
He develops discipline,
and that's what I
why
wanted
you.
to say earlier.
But that's why those are the men you should be chasing after, not men.
Oh
that
yeah,
just
no,
look
that's what I'm
good.
saying earlier. That's
Men-
why like women don't hold themselves to standards and men don't hold themselves to standards. There's not enough religion anymore.
Yeah, well, see, because we've allowed it to be the devil's playground for those types of
True.
men, though. We've allowed it
And
so
women.
that women could, if a man is tempted by what he sees and he walks around and there's half naked women all over the place and no other women step in to tell those women to put clothes on, he's
Well, you can
tempted out
tell
there.
other
But
people
this
and they
is
might
the
not do
And
it.
that's his nature.
This is the question, and I'm glad you came back to that part because you was like, these women, we're not holding women accountable for walking out the house full makeup, no clothes on. But then at what point do men also hold, if y'all are the head, if we go back to biblical, or if y'all are the head and y'all are accepting women like this, of course, a girl, like I think it's a song, an artist has a song like, you gonna turn me into a hoe because all of these men are accepting the hoes. Hoes are becoming housewives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
'Cause
why
they
be
know-
better
and
if they can get it?
and
Yeah.
they're telling average girl, keep being average girl. You're going to win. You're going to get your husband, but husband over here done wiped up hoe up the street. You know what I'm saying?
They want the
So
Barbie
who-
look.
Yeah, but you're telling women to hold
Not-
each other.
You're
A
talking
woman
about-
is not gonna
Hey, one
listen-
mic.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
no,
I
you
was
go.
trying to,
A woman is not about to listen to another woman. Honestly, a woman's gonna listen to a man before she listens to a man. Because
She's gonna listen to a man.
She's hating on me if she tells me, "Girl, go put some clothes
Well,
on."
she's gonna listen to a man if she's under his authority.
No,
and
but
hardly
women
even
really
then.
are open to listen to me in general these days, like
Yeah.
quicker than.
Yeah, that's why I do the show,
Yeah,
bro.
so-
Like a lot of these girls
so you
sometimes
think-
like it whenever I
He
tell
has
them how to
said
do
some
it.
things
Yeah.
to me since the
Mhm.
first time I've said that.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
whoa.
I see
I'm
what you're saying, but
trying
that usually comes with a certain amount of maturity for women. When women are younger and the world is their oyster, and everybody telling them they're beautiful or lying to them because they want to have sex with them, it's very hard to get through to them as a man.
Yeah, the age really kicks in
yeah,
at a certain point,
it
and you're like,
does.
shit, like I need to wake up
For
to
real.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reality
I want
kicks
to piggyback on what she said on reflecting. So I was on the show and we talked about why do men lie. And after that, I drove home and I was like, wow, these guys are treating me really shitty. I was like, they do not prioritize me. I do not like them. And I was like, I was already like barely letting them in my life in the first place. And I went through my phone. I blocked every mother freaking asshole. That only like the ones that I've been like, hey, take me on a date and then like we'll see if you get to do anything. I blocked all the ones that have not followed through and have just been like, no, come over. I don't want to go out. I don't want to spend money on you. And I'm like, you don't have to spend money on me. We can go walk around a park for 30 minutes and then go hang out at your house. I don't care. Put in effort.
Exactly.
Well, a man will lie to you, especially about their nature, because they don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
For the same reason, a kid will lie to their parents about some of the things they might do when they leave that house.
Mm.
So that
It's
was
a- it's
Yeah,
a
but that
respect.
becomes a selfishness thing. It means that I want you enough that I'm going to lie to you so I get what you want, but I don't value you enough to be honest with you because your feelings also matter.
to
Well,
me that
it-
makes him a pussy. Like tell me,
True.
just be
Yeah,
straight
just
up.
be if you're going to
Straight
be
up.
a dick, then just be a
Well,
dick
Just
up
tell me.
front.
I'd rather know,
Say it with
like,
your
hey,
chest.
I want to fuck other people, but like, you're cool. It's like, okay, cool. Just like, let me know. Don't do it behind my back and try to be.
Well,
sneaky.
most women
Yeah.
won't accept that because they've been taught not to in the Western society.
And then
Like,
that's
if you
fine.
look
That's
at-
their choice.
If you look at everywhere, and well, the thing is,
I don't have to choose to be with a
but
guy
a
who's going to
man
sleep
who
with other
loves you
women.
doesn't want to hurt you.
I don't. If he loves me, he's not going to want to fuck someone else.
Yeah, but that's
No,
in
it's
his
not the
nature.
same.
It's not. I'm
Men
telling
and
you
women
right
are
now,
not the same.
It's not.
Then
it's-
maybe that's the downfall
A
of
man-
it.
You're
a
right.
man-
You're right. You won't, but
a man can sleep with a woman he hates, he despises, that he doesn't
Yeah,
see.
true.
He can
Mhm.
even sleep
They
with a
can think
woman that
you're
he doesn't
ugly.
even necessarily find
Yeah,
attractive.
Yeah.
sure.
But what
That's
hurts
so
a
real.
man when a woman cheats, and why we don't see it as something equal, is because for you to cheat, you have to admire something
emotional.
about that man. You have to admire something about that man.
What
Uh,
causes men to cheat though? That's what I'm trying to say.
It's in
They're
our
like,
nature.
why?
It's the fact
We-
that they have 17 times more testosterone.
Yeah,
than we
it's
do.
it's in our
one of
nature.
the many
Yeah.
reasons.
Well, because men have significantly less options, and us spreading our DNA into the next generation is a task. You have to do a lot to do that. So when the opportunity presents itself, we tend to be sexual opportunists. Now, like I said, when you get discipline and morality and layers of that kind of stuff put in place, and you see a woman that you don't want to hurt anymore, that changes. But that's just a man's nature, unfortunately, and it's really what gives women the power that they have.
Then
You know,
maybe
the fact
that's
that men love women so much
I do have a
is what gives
question.
women the power that they have.
So what's y'all's opinion on? So y'all know the metaphor whenever they're like, oh, it's a lock and a key. I feel like the key goes in the like every key goes in the lock. It's a shitty lock. Well, you know that whatever crap.
Yeah, it's a good key if it can get in the
So,
lock. Yeah, it's a master key.
Yeah, in my opinion, a key shouldn't need to be in that many locks. But on that concept, with that becoming a thing over time, I feel like it was kind of because like birth control became a thing. There was a lot of other like safety procedures to prevent girls from just being knocked up all the time and stuff
Mhm.
like that. It does happen, but obviously, but because of that, do you think that basically the sleeping around society started building because they started like
There was
making
less consequences.
there was
for
less
easy
consequences
sex-
for your
for easy
actions. So
sex,
do
yeah.
y'all think that that caused women to start hoeing more because men decided to sleep around more because they had these extra options, and it kind of maybe made them bounce off of each other?
Men are going to be reflective of what the women. It's like what you were saying earlier. Like, how would you say it? Men are reflect. You were saying something about like how men are a reflection of whatever the women are doing. So like,
yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna do whatever it takes to spread our genes to the next generation. So we're gonna behave how women respond to.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're married, right?
Yeah.
Would you cheat on your wife?
Yeah, yeah.
No, because I have a level of morality.
Okay, so we
so men
continue.
can be faithful.
So we
Yeah,
we
they-
continue to agree on the fact that the continuing problem is that
it
y'all
takes-
don't have
It
like.
takes a level of discipline, and I mean, women can bench 225 pounds, but it's harder for them to do it naturally.
So you're
because
saying
that's-
biologically it's harder for men not to
biologically it's
cheat.
harder for men not to cheat. Yeah,
Which
Okay,
totally
yeah.
factual.
and that's something that women
Yeah,
have been,
yeah.
and that's something
But-
that women have been lied to about.
Well, then maybe that's what the downfall of modern dating is, and ending in monogamous relationships.
we're
is
still
because-
animals.
Well, see,
Yeah, we know that we're ignoring
Well, see, the part of the
biology.
feminism thing is they taught women that they needed to be equal to men. What women used to do when it came to a cheating man is they would stay honorable, and from her pain, she would conquer that man. That man wouldn't want to
He'd
see
get
her hurt anymore.
guilty and
Yeah.
yeah.
When he's in a bad position and that woman comes to save him, even though he's been doing bad to that woman, that makes him feel a sense of guilt. And that's his punishment.
Yeah.
So good.
So
are you
what?
gonna-
What feminism has told y'all to do is to be equal and to get back and to go against y'all nature. And when a woman has to develop a level of promiscuity to even be able to compete with what a man naturally is capable of doing in a bedroom.
That's not true. A
Oh.
woman can walk through a supermarket on a Tuesday afternoon and get more phone numbers than a dude putting out.
He's not disagreeing with that. He
Yeah,
said
I do.
promiscuity.
Promiscuity
Yeah.
as in acting on those numbers. Know what I'm
So-
saying? Like
She doesn't have to act on them.
She-
But he's,
well,
so it's
Yeah.
the
she's
difference.
less
he's saying it
likely
takes a
to.
step to do it.
She's less likely to because she wants quality.
Yeah.
Men want
Yeah.
quantity. That's
Yeah, we're not the same. Men, at the end of the day, everything kind of goes back to blank. Like a lot in psychology sometimes talk about blank slateism.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we're not blank slates. Like men are hardwired one way, women are hardwired another way. We can see it in brain scans on 3-week-olds.
So
And
how
that's-
does that?
and
how
that's
does
one
that
of the
get
reasons,
better?
but that's also one of the reasons why religion is always spoken in the masculine. So it's he
Mhm.
whom's. And
Yeah.
if you look at the old preachings, it was the men in the front and the women would be far in the back because those teachings are really for men because men are more capable of being immoral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Violence, all of it. Let me read those super chats really quick. I gotta keep up with these. I'm
These
sorry,
sound
guys.
so interesting.
Zora's Law says, safe facts. Purple Pill Pod asked the newly single woman who broke up with who.
It was
The-
a mutual breakup. We both agreed that we had things in our personal lives, which is actually one of the reasons that this is the topic tonight, because there were external factors that were altering the trajectory of our relationship. And we figured that if we did want to continue down this way, and if we still had the same goals long term, which was a religious, faithful, monogamous marriage and children, that we needed to work on that separately so we could come back together. So it was mutual.
Well, you go to the next one, $5.
There was other ladies that were.
Oh,
single
was there
as well.
somebody else that
Yeah.
was newly single?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. He broke up with me. He just wanted to focus on work, and I think having a relationship for him was just too much at the moment. And I think I kind of scared him because I was like, wasn't talking about marriage, but I had mentioned it in passing, like very, very like.
Okay, well,
5, 8
explain,
years
explain the
passing.
situation, because
No,
in my
that's okay. I'm not gonna do that publicly. I'm
So
not doing that.
I'm not gonna over explain anything, but I can say she was like a kick-ass girlfriend. Like
Thanks.
he's our
I mean, everybody's
friend.
gonna hype
She-
himself up.
Yeah,
Well,
no, but
have my
I
own
like I
issues.
witnessed it. I'm friends with both of
Well,
you. I met
thanks.
you through him, and like she was great, but there was definitely
It
external
sounds like
factors.
a picking issue then, because there's definitely a
Well,
guy
he
that's
was
gonna be
great.
very happy to like have that. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I
What do you
also-
define as a good girlfriend? What-
Right. I
what-
was just about to
Oh,
ask.
I just didn't communicate enough and stuff.
Girl,
like
shut
he,
the-
no, you're fine. It was behind doors. It was
Alright,
behind
valid.
closed doors.
It's good that you can admit that, though. That's
Yeah,
good.
it was definitely. I definitely had a
valid.
factor in that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna completely blame him. I will say that it was very sudden, and I do wish that we would have talked about it more.
Yeah.
He had talked with a family member about it like a month prior, and like I guess he kind of already decided on what was gonna happen. And I wish instead he would have spoke to me about it, and maybe we could have like tried to like 50-50 that and like figure out what to do so we wouldn't have had to end this relationship.
How long
Yeah.
was the relationship?
Yeah, what do you
A
guys
year and a
think?
half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
we were getting
Yeah.
there.
That's
So we
amazing.
had,
It
we
was
had
a
to,
long
I will say that like a good 9 months of it was long distance because I had some family issues. I had to go do some family stuff into that.
Definitely long
Um,
distance makes shit really hard.
And I moved back, and he had explained to me that he expected us to be around each other more, but we both have, working lives. We're both busy. I wasn't expecting him to be like open 24/7 for me, and it was the same vice versa. And I just think that due to us both working, we didn't have enough time for each other to have like a quality relationship.
People are devoted to their jobs more than people these
Yeah,
days.
That's true.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be
Well,
in
you
this
have to in
economy.
this economy.
Yeah, no. Trust me, like the powers that be love y'all being stuck single. Trust me, they wanted
yeah,
this.
they
They
love it.
wanted y'all to be so stuck up your job's ass
Yeah.
that you can do nothing but think about living
Well,
in the moment.
No, for
They
real.
wanted that.
Well, they want to reduce the population. That
I mean,
actually,
Yeah,
I'm not
look-
gonna get into that.
Yeah,
Stupid
we could already.
conspiracy
There's a
theorists on
million
that.
things.
Oh, yeah, we
doing
can
that.
get into that
Let me
all
see
day.
the $5 being cheeks. Thank you, bro. Chivalry is only deserved on virgin ladies that are feminine and not rude. That's what a lot of guys think, honestly, today. $5. Also from Joe Cole. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Sergio, for reminding me to keep an abundance mindset earlier. I'm happy you're keeping it, bro. No doubt to you. We've guys, anybody that ever needs help, we got a really cool group chat that's for men. If you ever need help with anything, guys, I talk in there all day long and give free tips all the time. Ladies, I wanted to kind of swing back to what we were kind of talking about. We were talking about the hardest boundary for relationships. The thing that most of y'all kind of said and we all kind of agreed on was social media and stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a really contending point sometimes on the show. Ladies, I want to ask y'all in your relationships, if you had a guy that was asking you to put your Instagram like before, like y'all are talking and y'all want to make it serious, he wants to ask you to be his girlfriend, but he's saying, I want you to make your Instagram private. I don't want you to have any guys. If the guy DMs you and he's trying to holler at you, I want you to either immediately delete it or block the person or something, so you don't have guys hitting on you all the time. And no more ass pics or no more posting pics that are revealing or show a type of person that you are, or show that you're this type of person. Are you cool with that? Would you do that for a relationship with a guy? We're not even gonna say, we're gonna say he's a normal ass dude.
So you said he's normal, and you said it was prior to talking.
Like
Well,
like he's about to ask you to be his girlfriend, but he's putting these boundaries down first.
Like
I-
before you
Okay,
start dating.
I get the putting boundaries, but everybody is different. Everybody is okay with doing that, and some people aren't. To me personally, I am not. To me, it sounds like you're insecure because I'm not gonna lie. Like my exes, that most of us, like this is how we ended. They're really insecure and they couldn't like just get themselves together, I guess, or something. But if you want to be like that, you can go ahead and find somebody else who will put up
Who will
with
do
it.
that.
But me personally, I won't.
Here, I'm gonna actually
Yeah.
come on this end, so then we don't accidentally end up with you on the last question. What do you think for that? Like, what would you do? He's a normal guy.
Yeah, I don't mind getting off the social media. It just kind of depends. If I do have business, a lot of things that I deal with or do does kind of navigate.
Yeah,
around
and we'll try to say
social
for
media.
this scenario,
Yeah,
it's
but
not
if
for
I'm a
business.
common girl, like who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind that. But it is to me stealing something about his like security and who he is. Now, like the whole ass pics and stuff like that, I think that's a disrespect of the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, if I was posting ass pics while taken, I wouldn't say cheating because if you're with your girls at the pool and you like post something on your Snapchat, but if you're like, yo, booty cheeks out, then I'm kind of like, for me, I already wouldn't post that or do that when I'm.
What
with
about the other
someone.
ones too, like the privating and
Or-
all that?
I'm not fully sure. I might private my Instagram just because I don't really like care enough. For me and streaming, because it's something I really enjoy, I would prefer not to, but I already don't check my DMs. I don't care whenever people message me. So I would be like, you're free to look whenever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to.
But I want to keep it open.
Yeah, but I would also make it clear I was with him. So once we were like official, like I'd post him whenever I want if he wants to be. If he doesn't want to
What
do,
if he
like,
doesn't post you?
I don't mind, just don't be cheating. Like if you don't post on social media, cool, but don't
And
get me wrong.
but like you'll still post him. I'm just
Y-
making sure
yeah,
that you're not
but-
like tit for tat about it.
No, but let's say if we went on like a really cute like 3-month, 6-month anniversary date, or we're
You
doing a
better
cute date,
fucking
and
post something.
I'm just like, yo, if we hypothetically went to like Christmas lights, like I would like it if we both posted it, but either keep it to ourselves or keep it out there, but just like a little bit, just show that you're taking. That I'm
Okay.
good.
What do you think? Would you private? Would you cut all the guys off DMing?
It's
What
a
would you do?
little
For your
different for
job.
me because I am a full-time fashion model.
So try to put
so,
yourself in the position of a girl that's not a full-time fashion model though. Just a regular person. I don't want everybody to compare it to, because yeah, if y'all were making money off it, it's a completely different story.
Right.
Yeah. So if it wasn't my job, then social media is supposed to be a fun thing for each person, so they're allowed to do what they want with it, and it's allowed to further whatever motivation they have for it. Personally, if someone was wanting me to go private, yeah, I mean, if I'm not looking for somebody else, if I'm not using it for self gratification, if I don't need validation from it, then yeah, okay, I'll put it private. Like the people that are going to be on my social media at that point are going to be people in my personal life anyway, because I'm not showing out like I do in my actual life. That was really bad wording. I could have worded that way better.
No, we know what you mean.
But yeah, it's not a platform at that point. It's just a fun little thing to have. So yeah, there should be no reason to not go private. There should be no reason to like not post anything that would be disrespectful. Like if my boyfriend wasn't in that picture with me, would I post it? No. If my butt's out, no.
Right.
So
Boundaries.
Yeah, I think that's healthy. I think it's like we're communicating on this ahead of time. This is my expectation. What's yours? And then how do we meet in the middle? Do we compromise? And if you can't do that, or if I can't do that, then we've got our answer.
Good negotiation skills. What do you think?
Thank
Are
you.
we're skipping him?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say something at the end, then he'll give an
Right,
explanation
right,
probably
okay,
after
cool.
me.
So can you explain the premise again?
Like, would you, if he's a normal dude, would you
Right.
private your Instagram? Would you, guys are bugging you. He's like, hey, I don't like that. I want you to cut guys
Right.
off that are doing that. No more ass pics or no revealing stuff.
Yeah, no, of course, definitely. Just make sure I'm close enough. I think as a regular person, like, okay, so my Instagram is public. Well, it's private now, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if we talked about that beforehand, he was like, hey, I'm just uncomfortable with like, other guys like looking at you, blah blah blah. Yes, I'm private anyways. But at the same time, I kind of get why. Well, actually, I don't get. Never mind. I'm trying to like rethink my winning because everybody pretty much said what I wanted to say. Sex being last.
Yeah.
Is yes, in the clarity of it, yes, I would private my Instagram, but I only have friends on my Instagram anyways.
Yeah.
Like and like family members. I don't.
So
I'm
there's
not one of
no
those.
random dudes that like DM you?
No, luckily,
how many
luckily
random
I'm
DMs
not,
do you
I
get on
don't
a
post
regular
pictures
day?
of myself, so that probably helps.
She's got cat
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, cat
Yeah.
pictures. I hate to say
Good.
it.
Good.
I don't
No.
post photos of myself. I would like if my boyfriend would post like a little bit of me, not like over posting. I think that's excessive.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if like we have like something coming up, like an anniversary or something, or like something even cute that he did. I think that'd be kind of nice to have like 1 or 2 photos of me, just to know that you're in a relationship. I think it should be the opposite as well.
Okay.
I don't want him to be like posting photos like he's single. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Because
Yeah.
girls will hit on him, and I
Mm.
hate that so much.
Yeah. So social media just is horrible for dating. So like
Yeah.
here's the thing that I like to talk about though. So a few of y'all said that you would really kind of want, or a couple of y'all said that y'all would really want to keep it, or maybe die on that hill. That like you really want it. So here's the thing: what is a woman's dating strategy? Like whenever y'all are out at the club, or when it comes to Instagram or anything like that, do y'all pursue men, or do men come
No.
to y'all?
I pursue men.
Yeah.
I walk up to
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah, but in general, we're gonna say in general here.
Men don't
In
go
general,
up
do
to
women?
people
Yeah,
anymore.
Well,
Or
But
they- or
in
they
general,
think they're
in
gonna be-
dating, ladies, who's usually pursuing and who's usually advertising?
men are
there's
usually in pursuit.
usually in general.
okay.
We're speaking in general here.
Men are the
Before
pursuing ones.
the genders kind of got like blobbed together,
Yes.
and I don't want to say genders, but like the man
Gender
woman
roles.
concept, yeah, gender
Yes.
roles. Once it kind of got blobbed together, now it's like I catch myself going up to people more. Like I'll get looked at, but the guy's like too scared to come up. And then whenever I come up, I'm like, hey, and then they're like, I wanted to talk to you, but like I was so nervous. You're so pretty. I'm just like, dude, just like have a conversation with me, and you would have been able to
I
do
love
it.
No,
that.
but
Calm
I'm,
down,
I'm just
like-
speaking.
like,
I just
you're
want to
cool,
speak in.
dude.
I just want to speak in general, though. I'm asking a really general question, though. In general, is it a man's strategy to pursue and a woman's strategy to advertise?
I mean, it's supposed to. I just don't.
Yes,
like
yes.
that
In
at all.
general, ladies, like by nature standards, that's how shit in general works. Okay, so because of that, every woman with an Instagram and with a lot of followers, or it's open, or you're posting aspects or anything like that, you are advertising shit. I sent a bunch of videos and pictures of different girls that I follow that came on this podcast, and they like were twerking in front of the camera. One girl like did a picture where she was like holding her boobs, but like this is all mate calling. This is all just mate dancing. Like this is all just our ways of current day standards still acting like animals
Like a
and
peacock.
showing
Yeah.
peacocking. And so like the thing is, that's y'all's strategy in general. Okay, I'm not specifically pointing at each of you individually, but in general, a woman's strategy is to advertise. Okay, so what's a guy's strategy? Pursue,
Yeah.
message girls, DM or like their pictures, comment on their pictures, maybe send her $10 or some stupid shit. So that's a guy's strategy, and the problem today is in relationships. Like I would say, most of y'all have probably been in a relationship where you were still using your dating strategy with posting pictures or having guys DMing you all day. And the guy, you probably demonized him if he liked the girl's picture, if he commented on a girl's picture, if he
what I was
messaged
gonna
a
ask,
girl.
'cause somebody brought up insecurity.
Yeah. So
And I was gonna say, well, then would you mind if he comments or likes other girls' pictures?
yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
because like ladies, in my relationship, my girl has a closed account with like 100 followers, has, posts nothing but like cats and her crocheted stuff that she makes and shit.
Aw.
And she doesn't use any of her dating strategy. And in return, I use none of my dating strategy. I don't go like girls' pictures. I don't comment. I don't go and message them. I don't go and pursue women for sex. Because if I did that, I'm using my strategy while she's not using her strategy at all. So that's unfair. So I would say I'm not condoning a guy going and doing that stuff, because I think it's simping. I think it's like very like giving validation for no reason, and you're not getting anything out of it. So I personally am not the type of guy where I don't even do that, even if I'm single. But I understand why some guys do it when they got a girl that has a full open profile, 100 guys DMing her every day. And he's getting very insecure about it. Like, I mean, if she's using her strategy, he's probably constantly thinking he's about to lose her. He's like, fuck, I better be pursuing girls because I could lose this girl at any moment, probably.
Yeah.
So I understand why some of them might do it. What do you think, bro?
So for whoever was it,
I gotta go pee really quick.
somebody said,
Oh, Donnie, ask a question. If
Yeah.
I'm,
And I noticed
Somebody-
she had stuff earlier. too.
somebody around the table said something about
Insecurity.
insecurity. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I-
was.
I-
Abby.
I want to.
It was Abby.
It was
Mhm.
okay. So, why do you think that? What made you think that they were insecure? Like, what
They said it themselves.
they said that they were insecure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually my ex, why we broke up, because he was too insecure and he said he felt like I deserved better and whatnot. But like, to clear everything up though, I didn't know we were talking about like that we're just a regular person,
Yeah.
because I do social media and everything. So I was
Oh,
like,
so
no,
you
like,
a social media person?
yeah,
Okay.
But once he said, oh,
But what
like, you're a
kind of
regular
what kind of
person,
pictures we talking about though?
well, pictures. That's what I was gonna say. It's to a certain extent, like telling me to like put my Instagram on private, like. But if it's like obviously like anything when it comes to nudity, like showing ass or whatever it is, like
Exposing
obviously,
yourself?
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be different
Okay.
compared to like what other stuff he was saying.
So he broke up with you because he was insecure.
I will say, I think
Yeah,
it would
maybe
be.
that's probably good for him then.
Yeah.
I
think
would
it
like.
would
I would have
have-
never even admitted no shit like that.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm quiet about it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't tell no woman I'm
Like,
insecure.
No, it's all you guys.
No, it's about having standards,
That's true.
boundaries. I feel like if he would have came at you in a way where he was saying that those was his standards for the relationship,
Mhm,
and then he was willing to leave because you weren't willing to adhere to his standards,
mhm.
that would make him more secure. But if he came up to you and he tried to play the violin and make a sob story,
No,
and
I was
say,
like
"I'm
willingly
insecure,"
like open and communicative and everything. Like it's just he just couldn't get a grasp of himself.
Right.
yeah, that's
I don't-
crazy.
I don't
too.
know.
I wouldn't.
I have a question for her because you.
Oh,
had
word.
said-
Oh, what's up?
No, it's because you had said you went up to a dude that you kind of had noticed looking at you and things like that. And then just for anyone, if y'all have ever went up to a dude that you seen looking, like, does that turn you off though? Like, if you
It depends on
Depends
how
if he's
they
attractive.
react to it. Yeah, it depends on how he
I'll say it.
reacts to it. Because a lot of times the dudes that do actually approach me at bars are either old men or extraordinarily creepy or smell bad. Nothing towards them, but for some
I get
reason,
older,
those are the dudes with
they
the hair
stay the
balls.
same age.
And then whenever like it's a more attractive person, I'll kind of like do a walk by and see if they're interested or not, and give like a little wait for them to maybe like motion me over. If they actually go for it, then I'm like, okay, cool, he's got some potential. But if he doesn't have a personality and I walked over there, I'll just walk away. I'm like, no, that wasn't worth it.
but does that
But
kind of like take
I-
away from the courting of a man? Like,
I
if you
do
approach
wish
him-
they would do that more, but also like if I'm about to leave and if I was eyeballing you, then okay, screw it, I'll like go walk up to you. But other times if I'm like, nah, he should be doing it, then so basically I agree with everything you're saying, but it's just I hate saying it, but a lot of dudes are just like kind of pussies these days.
But
No,
but that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
like,
because
So
so
that's
many-
what happens
nothing
when you
about
destroy
that.
masculinity. When you
Yeah.
tell
I
men to
want
not be a
dudes to be
certain way.
masculine.
Well, see,
like,
the problem is women want
I would love that.
women want conditional masculinity. They want a woman that's capable of They want a man that's capable of walking up to a random stranger and pursuing a conversation, but only for them. A man that's capable of doing that did a lot of practice. no man that's just walking up to you talking to you, that's his first swing at it. He's been doing that a
Great.
lot.
Well,
That's
and they
great.
and
So-
they can be awkward when they come up to me. I don't care. Just the approach, being like, "Hey, I'm blah blah. Like, what's your name?" And just like work their way
That's
into it.
cat.
That's cool.
That's cat.
See, but
just
my
That's
just
problem
like
is-
try to start a combo.
Well, you said some
That
of
is
them was
cat.
weird, and I assumed the ones
no,
that was
no,
awkward was
no,
ones
no.
that
You
was-
Exactly.
like pedo weird, where
Like,
you're just like
I'll
red
pay
flag,
for
red
pictures
flag
of your feet.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
Whenever,
kind of stuff.
like they come up to me and being like, "You want to go fuck in my minivan?" And I'm just like, "Whoa, there."
At least he been honest, right?
Yeah, or if
At
they-
least they're honest.
another thing is if they want to buy me one drink, cool. If they're like,
Trying
I'm
to get
gonna buy you
drunk.
3 drinks and
Yeah.
2 shots right now, then I'm just like, oh, rapist. I'm okay, bye. Like, you know, it's just kind of like red flags randomly. Depends on what they say.
Would you say that
Okay.
it depends on where you are? Those type of men, like
Yeah.
have you ever been to like high end places, like high end classy men or not?
Well, I just became like, I'm just now 22. So it's been like kind of hard to go to places like that. Whenever country dancing, it's kind of easy. But since I was 18, that's kind of like the only bar I could really go to meet
Right.
people.
Yeah.
So I feel like because my mom was saying that, she was like, you need to go to the restaurants like your dad goes to, just sit at the bar, let a guy come up to you, become a regular, meet people.
Hey, your mom,
And
hey,
I-
she got game.
yeah,
Your mom
yeah,
got
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Dude.
And
She does.
Yeah,
That's
and she's
insane.
fully right on that. But she was like, it was smart of you to wait until you're actually, one, old enough to sit at the bar, two, you found yourself more lately. Because we had this convo like recently, and she was like, hey, you're done dealing with dudes that aren't prioritizing you, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, all right, here's a list of places you should go to that your dad goes to. These are like the bartenders that will be
Well,
nice
what
to
does
you.
she
meet
mean
some
by
people.
prioritize you though?
So
Because I'm gonna tell you right
so
now.
I had like the rose-colored glasses where I just think everyone's all nice and perfect and amazing how they are, even if they treated me like crap.
Mhm.
So I would just like keep giving these guys chances, being like, well, they're saying this. But then we had the podcast where he was like, all men lie every 5 seconds. And I was like, let me look into their words versus their actions a little bit more versus giving them the benefit of the doubt. And then I was like, okay, they're not actually prioritizing me. They're saying they are, but they're not. And so now
Yeah.
I'm actually going for the actions.
So like they was
more.
entertaining other women, or
No, it wasn't even that. It was like, I want a family. I want to date you. I want this. They would go far to the extreme, but then want to do a boys' night every single week. Go have your boys' night. Go have fun. Get drunk. Do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's not fucking another bitch. But if you hang out with me for like 2 weeks and then you don't say anything for 3 weeks and be like, hey, come over and like pretend I wasn't gone and disappeared, then I'm just like, dude, you only
Oh,
want me
okay,
since you're
okay.
horny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I may be
that's
like
tough.
your top person. But,
A lot of girls, bro. Like the more I
Yeah.
talk to them, the more I'm realizing Loverboy game is huge right now.
Well, yeah,
Most guys are
It's
doing
the-
Loverboy
it's the
game.
if
Like,
he could, he
like
would.
saying, like
Yeah.
it's all about like the love bomb breadcrumb.
would, he
Every
could.
dude's doing it.
Oh,
right
not
now.
that- not that
Every dude.
level.
Love bomb.
Oh, he didn't do the love bomb
Oh.
breadcrumb.
No,
on you?
I've been love bombed. That's actually what we were talking about last time. Whenever Tatum, the person I was here with, she was like, he love bombed the hell out of you, and I didn't really understand that concept. And I was like, oh, he made me feel like a priority, and then like
And then
kept me,
breadcrumb.
yeah, it kept me like searching for the dopamine. So like the few times he gave me attention, I was like, oh my god, he does like me. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Oh wait, no, he does again because he's talking to me. And so
Like a
now that
dog.
I'm like, okay, let's stop being a little dumb puppy and figure out what I want and someone that fully wants me. And now I have a dude, not gonna say his name, but I met him at Red River. He came up to me and he was like, hey, I
Shout
saw
out
you
to Red
eyeing me.
River.
I know. And he was like, hey, I was eyeing you. And I was like, oh, really, emo boy? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what you gonna do about it? And he was just like, well, let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. And he stepped up to the plate. This is the One Piece guy that you were making fun of me
Well,
for, too.
my question is
But
with
he
that,
was great.
my question is with that,
Awesome.
like
Nigga,
when
you gay.
she
Huh?
when she was talking about like, oh, if like a man's looking at you and whatever, and he's trying to get with you, whatever, like whatever,
Yeah.
talk game. If I don't find him to like a standard of attractiveness, I'm gonna be turned off. And I feel like it's the same with women. If an
Yeah.
ugly girl, well, actually, not the same with women, the same with men. But you were talking about like if a breeze pass, like man, you get horny and shit, whatever. Like an ugly girl comes up to you, you're like, and like no, you're getting no game that night. Like no one's coming up to you, whatever. But an ugly girl comes up and is like, hey, what's up, man? Like you trying to hit it, whatever. Like you're gonna be like, yeah, let's get down. But like if it's the opposite and it's like an ugly dude, like I think I would rather be alone.
Not-
And I know that's
yeah.
like really bad.
No, it's
But,
good
like-
to admit it because
But I
everyone
hold to someone to like
Yeah.
some sort of standard because
Yeah.
if I'm not physically attracted to you, I'm not gonna be
Dude,
emotionally attracted
actually,
to you.
that like brings up something I
Yeah,
really like to
when-
talk
And
about.
I'm so
agree with
sorry.
you.
I'm so sorry about
I
that.
was gonna say because everyone has a different type. So at the end of the day, it's not like what you're saying is only against ugly men. Because you know me, I like ugly men.
Here,
Yeah.
here,
It's
hold
not
on,
even
hold
that,
on,
like,
hold on,
they're,
hold
like,
on.
ugly.
It's not even. It's so
It's
you
like a
say that,
standard,
you
though.
say
Yeah.
that, but if we look at studies, shout out to Dr. David Buss. They did a study across 37 different cultures across the United States. And when he did this, he proved that even a society in the, you know, in the Scandinavian countries where it's the equal as hell, everything's equal as fuck between the genders, all the way down to tribes in New Guinea, you can literally see that there's a short-term mating strategy for women, there's a short-term mating strategy for men, and there's a long-term mating strategy for women and a long-term mating strategy for men. And we're completely different. The short-term for men is basically almost fuck anything. Okay, it doesn't matter. The short term for women is only attractive, only intelligent, only has resources, only has certain things. Okay, it's not the ugly, fat, short guy ever for the short term for a woman.
No.
But the long term, y'all will. There's like 200. There's another book.
You
There's
expand that. look.
there's another book. Shout out to everybody should read this. Why women behave badly. And there's like there's 234 different things that turn women on or that women are sexually, you know, attracted to. So whenever you look at all those different things, yeah, I agree with you. There's a wide range that you can be attracted to, but only for the long-term guy, not the short-term guy. And then also for men, we'll fuck anything in the short term, but how are we in the long term, ladies? How hard is it to lock a guy down to get the ring? How hard is it to get him to lock you down in a relationship when he's that guy? It's hard because he has a whole different long-term strategy than your long-term strategy.
And he's still looking.
What is the
Yeah.
long-term strategy?
Yeah,
Men's-
what is
Men's long-term strategy is youth usually, because for all of history we couldn't tell like if you wanted to make sure that you were going to be able to have multiple children, and then on top of that know that she's not going to go through menopause anytime soon, you were just seeking youth, just beauty and youth. And beauty also shows disease free, shows healthy, symmetrical face. All these things are signs that you're a healthy individual that I want to make babies with, and we can make at least 5 to 10 of them over this next decade before menopause comes.
It's showing that we're biologically superior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what men are going to look for, just like how y'all are going to look for a provider in y'all's long term.
But
Y'all
we
got to
also
make
look
sure that
for biologically, like,
it's protector and
biological-
provider, and that's it for women.
I want some.
No, we
P1
look for
babies.
superiority too. I
well,
absolutely
those
look at a
things come
dude-
with superiority for sure. If a guy is a protector and provider over here, he's a leader. If he's
Yeah, but
stronger,
he doesn't
faster,
look like
smarter.
we look for who a guy looks like. If he looks like he's capable, then we'll find out more about him to know, are you a provider, are you a protector? But that's not something we see right away. Y'all can look at us and say, like, oh, she's got great hips, she would give me babies, you know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
We
but-
can't
yeah, but
look
she might
at
have
a dude
trauma.
Some
like,
children.
just to think, like, we can't look at a dude and just be like, oh yeah, he could protect me, because not 9 times out of 10, don't come for me. But there's a lot of dudes on like freaking testosterone now, so we can't even like look at a guy in the gym and be like, oh, he could protect me.
Why is the
He's
guy
got
in
superior
testosterone
genes.
can't protect you? If
Okay,
anything,
fine.
he's more likely.
Anabolic steroids.
Well, no. Even testosterone. I'm saying both. No. Hold on. Here, hold on. I'm saying both. A guy could be a protector on either one of those, especially if he's all buff and shit. He's a way more of a
What I'm
protector
saying is
than
that
a weak
even
guy.
if you're talking about like biologically, there are physical markers that each gender looks out for. Women now have plastic surgery, and men have performance steroids.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm
So
totally
no
against
one
steroids, so I agree with
looks-
you.
No one really looks the way we're supposed to anymore. So we can't. I don't think that we can use biology and what we're predisposed to look for biologically anymore, because no one looks the way we actually.
Well, that's why you have to go for all natural. Like my mom picked my dad off of his teeth. How many people do that
Ooh.
today?
That's
How
actually
many
a good
people
idea.
do
That's
that?
one of the first things.
And how many people got their teeth done now, or they got
Oh, yeah.
veneers, or they got fucking choppers or whatever, and they don't even have their real teeth? Dude, y'all want to see some crazy shit? The guys that aren't looking for natural good women, they're gonna have kids in the future that are ugly as hell because they picked the girl with the BBL and the fake tits and the fake teeth and all
Fillers,
all the
all that
fillers.
stuff,
And he's
yeah.
like, damn, why did my child come out looking like this? And then what's gonna happen to their genetic line? It's gonna have a harder time afterwards,
I'll say
especially if they have
the-
boys.
I want to
The
dab
teeth
you
thing
up.
though,
I want to dab you up.
the whole teeth thing though is now like dentistry. It's a privilege to be able to go and like get your teeth looked at and get them fixed because it's so
Yeah,
expensive
it's
now.
so expensive.
And now that's like
you go to
that's
Mexico,
like
get it
a,
done for 10% of the price, man.
that's like a money thing now. That was when people have like nice like teeth and stuff. Like to me, just not like Botox. I'm not talking about that because that's a whole nother thing. But like when like men and stuff have like nice teeth, I'm like or girls, I'm like, oh,
The
this
status
person
symbol.
has money because all those like celebrities and stuff, they have perfect teeth. There's not one fucking celebrity that I can think of off the top of my head that's got fucked up teeth.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
go get veneers.
James
man.
Oh,
Harden.
God.
Veneer.
Shit.
Oh, hey, shout out
There's
to
one.
Dr. Matt with that $10, bro.
Braces.
Here, click that real quick.
Thank you.
Shout out to Dr. Matt, man. Thank you, man. Shout out to Poor Man's Podcast, one of the best. This is a two-part question. First question: is it a red flag if a man doesn't respect his mother?
Yes.
Yes.
That woman gave birth to you.
Gave you birth. Like if she's a piece of shit, I get it because sometimes family situations.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you should still be like yeah, that's my mama. Don't get me wrong, I don't know everyone's situation. So she was an abusive piece of crap. Okay, totally get it. But if you have a relationship with her, I don't expect you to call her cursing at her on the phone. I saw that and I straight walked out and dumped my dude on
That's
the
a good
spot.
idea.
Absolutely.
That's a
I
good
was
idea.
like, if you treat your mom like that, you're gonna
Exactly.
treat me like a piece of crap whenever I'm older. And I am not
Exactly.
gonna be your mama or your babysitter. Like, you go take that attitude somewhere else.
No, that's totally the thing. Look at how a guy treats his mom and look at how a girl treats her dad. If a
Yeah.
girl has
Yeah.
a weird ass relationship with her dad, odds are she's going to have a weird ass relationship with you and she's got some underlying thing. Just like if a dude, especially in the Southern Bible Belt where we live, if there's a dude okay talking crap to his mama, it's like, nah,
Yeah,
there's
not going to work.
Most
Not
of
going to
the
work.
ones that you see that do talk about their mom, they hate women. Like, I'm
Exactly.
so
It's like,
scared.
yeah, I don't want it. I'm
Yeah.
good.
It's because the first one in their lives did something to them and made them feel like they
And
couldn't
that's
love them.
fine, but that's something that you
No, yeah,
gotta
no, I
work on
agree with
before
you,
you
but-
treat somebody else like crap.
Yeah, I actually had a question about that topic earlier. Is so you know how like some girls trauma response, like bad family, they have like a hoe phase, body
Yeah.
count might go up. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Their body count might go up because like trauma and stuff like that. Whenever y'all question girls on body count, most men are just like, oh, it's a number. Okay, it's this. What do you
Do-
think
do you
about like
factor that
all the
in?
crazy factors that could be involved?
What do you mean? Like,
Like,
like
so let's
does it matter to us if she went through trauma and that's why? it may
yeah,
have
like because
happened?
if you
Will
let's
you
say
forgive
let's,
that?
yeah, like let's say a girl's body count was 30, and then you're just like, yo, it's
Damn.
30, and then she's like, yeah, but I got gang banged in a hotel, and then this happened, and I got drugged.
Or I was
Are you
great,
my
having
or,
actual
or I'm
se-
hypersexual
A lot
because I was
of-
great
but-
at 12
but
or
then
something.
she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, and then she was like, but my actual sober count is only 3 because these were people I really cared about that I did. Like, do you
Yeah.
look at her still
Well,
as a
I mean,
hoe? or
well,
do you
if
see
there was
different
if
perspectives?
there's a man that there's a man that you was in a relationship with and he beat up his previous 4 girlfriends because he was previously alcoholic, that wouldn't be a red flag to you?
If he, well, no, that would definitely. Well, if she was dating him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like-
sorry,
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
I
Okay,
looked
okay,
at
like,
my piercing
okay,
and I
say
zoned
so
out.
for you, like to compare.
Sorry.
Here, hold
So
on.
if you're talking about his previous trauma, her trauma with her family leading to her being more promiscuous.
Or
If a
just,
man
like, in
had trauma
general.
with his family and he beat women up, with that,
Well, I feel like
that's different than having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Well,
I meant more.
Physical violence
way
is
like
way
force.
different
Yeah,
than
well,
sleeping
well,
with someone.
well, y'all's
My
biggest
description-
nightmare is to get hit by a man. Our biggest nightmare is to raise a child that isn't ours.
That's valid.
Fair.
So I mean
so to
more.
look for those hints is
Mm.
it's an equivalent.
So a
to
man
something that isn't
choosing
the
to,
same.
because I understand addiction's a problem, but if a man chooses to pick up the bottle and chooses to pick up his fist and beat his woman, that's the decision thing. The girl getting drugged
And,
and
like, getting
put
raped.
into like sex trafficking or getting put in a different situation, I mean more of like
If
that.
she's not in control of that,
Right,
feel
I
like
mean
you have
more
to be in
of,
control
like,
of
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna tell y'all-
unconsensual
I'm gonna
situation
tell y'all-
that
That's like
messed up
super
her
exception
numbers.
though. Like a girl going
Well,
through
'cause
that right
that's
there, we're
most
talking less than
girls.
no. To
That's
li-
That's not
when
most
you-
girls.
No,
No, a lot
most
of
girls
girls
aren't
do.
being
Well, not
forced
That's not
into
most
sex
girls.
into
Yeah.
sex slavery
No,
like
no,
your
I
kind
meant on raping, like just
Yeah.
going through.
Well,
Certain-
Are you
nowadays
talking
there's
about-
so many different kinds of trauma that someone can use as a not
Like
a crutch
leverage.
because that sounds condescending, but there's so many things that happens in someone's life now, and easy sex being in the world we live in now, it's just an easy therapy. So I'm starting to think that body counts probably should mean what they used to, and that should be an indicator of the person. But nowadays, with how fucked up the world is and sex being an easy thing to fall into as a trauma response, I think it's twofold. You can't say like, oh well, everyone shouldn't have a body count until they're married. In a perfect world, sure. We are in very far from a perfect world. So if someone like is going something, they went through something
Yeah.
and their love map is skewed and now they're hypersexual as a trauma response and they've got a problem, like that shouldn't be, I don't think a possible partner should.
I feel like some
Well, most-
people use it as an excuse. though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Well,
very
most men,
true.
most men
Yeah.
that have their lives together don't want to take on an additional burden when they could deal with a person that doesn't have that burden.
That's valid.
That's fair.
Yeah,
And-
no,
and
no.
just in
'Cause
the
you don't
same
wanna
way,
be a
just in the
therapist,
same way,
but-
you might not want to date a guy that's not a certain height. He probably don't want to date a person that has that past, just because that's his preference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just as
yeah.
perfect. So like here's another way to look at it. So trauma builds men and it destroys women, okay? Completely. And yet trauma goes down into your children. I'm not saying that trauma can't destroy a guy, but the thing is men are disposable. We've always been the disposable sex. For all of history, we were the ones that were disposed. We were the ones that went to war and died. We died at our jobs. It's always been men that were disposable because there's all like we can build a new community if all the men died and there were still 100 women. So men have always been disposable. Women have always been the protected sex, the vulnerable sex. So if we don't have men in society protecting women, mate guarding and doing certain things to make sure women are safe, and there ends up being trauma through them, that's going to end up going into the kids that she has later on. So we just are crazy about not being with somebody with trauma because, and I'm like I said, trauma is bad for men and women. The difference is men are disposable though. So some loser who has a bunch of trauma, he's just going to die off. Like 40% of men already don't end up having kids. 80% of women do, 40% of men do, or 40% of men don't. So when you look at it like that, and that was throughout all of history, 40%. Right now in our stats, it's like 20 or 30% in our country. But so when you look at that, there's a lot of men that are always going to take the L or they're not going to make it. So we're like, fuck those guys who have that trauma. Like they have the suicide rate of 4 times that of women, 9 times that
Y'all
after
are also
divorce.
the gender that was never allowed to express feelings.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I'm just explaining to you though, men and women are
also-
No,
different.
I'm agreeing
We're
with
just
you.
different.
I'm agreeing with you.
Well, women don't really want an overly emotional man because a overly emotional man
Not
is-
overly emotional, but some
Be
level of
empathetic, have a-
emotional
some level of
maturity
empathy.
and
Well,
intelligence.
well,
Balance,
the-
Also,
but-
yeah.
you go ahead,
I was
you go
gonna
ahead.
say for the suicide rate, like yes, totally valid, man, totally valid. But also, they're more. I don't want to say like proactive on killing themselves because that sounds messed up. But like men
They're
are more.
physical about it.
Yeah, men are more likely to shoot themselves in the face or hang themselves. Girls are more likely to pop pills. So
Yeah.
scientifically, yes, men have the so yes, men have the higher suicidal rate, but girls actually have like more attempts. It's just they're not as forward with it, so they live most of the time. They're
I
more
feel like
of
guys
like an
go through with
OZ.
it. Girls more like think about it too
Right,
much.
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
it all goes back to the physical and emotional thing. A lot of women might do it because they're doing it as like a sign of somebody, please come and help me and save me. Whereas a guy might be doing it like, dude, I'm fully checked out because guys only do it when there's what's called zeroed out. Usually it's zeroed out. They've lost everything. They've lost like a big story was that guy who jumped off the Disney thing, you know, and he did that because he lost everything. When he jumped off that parking garage at Disney, he lost his family. His wife had said that he had like beat his kids and stuff, like all types of shit. So it's not like he just lost his family. He also lost the ability where everyone see kids. He also lost his job because he was a superintendent for a school, I think, or he was a principal or something like that for a school. He lost everything.
Yeah.
That's what causes guys to get to that point. It's usually not just a random bad thing happening one time.
Well,
It kinda
psychologically, and this is proven,
depends.
women choose suicide options that require the least bit of cleanup because we are the
Yeah.
gender that
Considerate
normally
of other
does
people. Yeah.
the cleanup, and men just, it's not y'all's fault. It's just y'all's brains aren't normally wired that way, so y'all don't care how much of a mess you make. We've moved
sounds
past
so
that, but I
messed
just
I'm
felt
pretty
it
sure
was a
once
thing.
you're gone, you're not going to give a shit about anything.
No,
Like,
but
But,
you're
like,
but
you
like
examine the
women, like I said,
process
we're just a little bit more
Like-
considerate of the space we take up and the mess we make. So that's why I don't think we pop pills because we're hoping someone's gonna save us.
That's cap. That's
No,
cap.
that's psychologically proven. I if I had my phone, I'd
What
Google
mess
that
are you
and find
talking
that
about,
survey
though?
for you.
Yeah.
What mess are you talking about?
I'm saying,
Like,
like I
you
said,
said,
like
like
a
blood.
female won't kill herself in a way that there's gonna be like blood. She's gonna pop pills because that's all internal. All she's gonna be doing
Yeah.
is laying there. A dude is gonna hang himself or blow his brains out, and then there's a huge mess. And that again, that's proven. And it's because women care about cleanup, men don't.
Trust me, just
okay,
anybody
yeah.
thinking about a cleanup when they're not even done yet shows that they're not even trying to fully go. I'm telling you, just men and women are completely different. When
No,
a guy's
but it's like
fully
I'm
zeroed
gonna
out,
be
he's
leaving
gonna
other.
go.
I'm gonna be leaving other people. Somebody's gonna find my body. Let's make it as easy for them as possible.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree because if I were to hypothetically ever do that or ever have had those thoughts,
I would totally take into consideration. who's
I
gonna find me.
never wanted if I would never want to hurt my face to where that's the last image my parents see of me.
Oh, no,
you know?
yeah,
like I don't
yeah.
want them to see me brutally like
I want them to
messed
see
up
me
in whatever
asleep.
The
way.
biggest thing is, like I said, physical and emotional. Like we're just so
Yeah.
different. At the end of the day, men and
Yeah.
women are opposites, not the
So
same.
wait, so is that like? Well, I really want to go back to this whole
Yeah.
because this is propagated so much about this whole
Mhm.
emotional thing. Like men need to express their emotions. What women don't understand is the first emotion that men generally feel is anger.
Anger.
Yes, yeah.
So when a
100%.
man expresses his emotions, that's how schools get shot up.
Well,
When
that's
you look at
because
school
there's
shooters-
unhealthy ways of showing emotion and
Well,
not
that's-
aren't
well,
doing
see,
it the
well,
right
see,
way.
that's because you don't understand our nature.
That's why we have rage
A
rooms.
man has to be capable.
Rage rooms.
Rage room.
A man has to
hold
be
on, one mic.
capable of hunting. A man has to be capable of going to war. So for his first emotion, it has to be anger. That's what we've done throughout all of human history. So that's in our nature.
That doesn't
So
mean
you
that the
think
people
that
around you are victims of that. That need to be victims of that. Just
Let him
because
make his
you're
point.
angry doesn't mean sorry.
Yeah, but
Stop interrupting. Let him make
what I'm
his point.
no, well, what I'm saying is it's the conditional masculinity thing. You want him to be capable of going to war and protecting you, but then when it comes to him not being able to express his emotions as much, you think it's a problem. But really, what men are supposed to do is learn how to control their emotions and channel it into passion.
Be stoic.
Because if a man expresses his emotions too much, it's going to turn directly into anger. So when people tell men that they should just express their emotions, I think that's one of the most dangerous things you could teach
It
a young
is.
boy.
It is. It's the most. Y'all gotta understand. Like a man is supposed to be a rock on the side of the ocean, so a woman's emotional waves can crash over him.
I don't think
He's-
it's fair.
He's no. It's not. Life isn't
If-
fair.
yeah,
Life is not
it's a
fair.
role.
The way this life isn't fair at all. Like there's sexism in every aspect of society, and I don't sit there and complain about women skipping lines at clubs. I don't complain about 18-year-olds being able to go get on yachts in Miami. Like there's a lot of things that are unfair in this world.
Well, and women pick those men, and they don't want to tell the truth about that. But women pick those.
I'm
men.
saying it's
If
not
you're
fair
go-
for the dudes, not the girls. I'm saying it's not fair for a guy
Yeah,
to be
well-
a stoic, emotionless rock and women to just throw all her problems over him.
I
what I'm
mean,
saying is
but it's still an expectation that women have, and probably you do too. Because if you want a man that's a winner, if your boyfriend's sitting in the corner crying, he ain't gonna stand a fucking chance.
I'm not
Exactly.
asking him to cry. I'm saying to be able to unpack your own emotions enough that you do channel it in a
Healthy.
positive, progressive way.
Yeah.
So
I
a
would
man
want them to
complaining at
express-
all
well,
is
you talk-
feminine. A man complaining at all is feminine. If he's coming up with solutions to his issues, he has a guy group that he's talking to. If he has like men in his circle that can help him problem solve. If he's a successful man that knows how to problem solve, why would he come to you with any issues? It sounds feminine to just be like, babe, this guy was mean to me at work today.
It's
and
not
it
a-
was
it's
so
not-
horrible."
it-
No
that's-
woman would even tolerate that.
That's an example that would never happen. I mean, like if you're at that level of a relationship with someone where you do unpack those things together because you're partners and you value each other's input, then it's not like I want you coming to me with every little cry hissy fit you're having. If you have your guys like your group that you talk to, then that's awesome. But still, like you can still talk to me. I'm your partner.
Yeah, I want them to
that's
be
where
able
it be-
to express that concern
Yeah,
to me.
yeah,
Like, a
that's-
little bit. I'm not saying that I want him to be whiny about it or whatever.
Yeah, no,
but I
don't
would
be
like to
whiny,
be able
but-
to help him. If there's a way that I could help him
Yeah.
with that, I would want to be one of those options
What-
to help
Even
him.
Yeah,
if
well, that's-
he's
No,
like
go ahead.
overworked and needs some food or something, where he's like, "Hey, I've had a really bad day.
Yeah.
Are you willing to like, or if you haven't, like, you willing to make dinner? Should I grab something? I'm not feeling like up for it." There's just like different levels to where it's like, I want to be a teammate with you. Like, I want us
Yeah.
to be a team.
I
That's
just want
what
to
you
be able to
find.
help
So
you a
that's
little
why
bit.
there's different
you
levels.
find
Do your own
women-
thing though.
Women want that perfection. They don't understand the duality. So women will say they want a man that's capable of getting a lot of women, but only wants her. Women will say they want a man that's capable of defending her in a violent interaction, but they want him to also be able to open up and be emotional. So women like guys that tend to be in that gray area because they don't understand that it's generally speaking black or white. You usually get one or the other,
Yeah.
and that's just how it works.
So one thing is like men don't typically mature until they're like 30 and above because all like the rage. So basically, girls, we get emotional once a month, a week, however long it is. And then men are basically just like angry until they're adults and they can calm down, their testosterone chills out. So it's like I totally understand the aspect
It's
of
also when the frontal
No.
lobe fully develops.
yeah, so I totally understand the whole like don't tell a guy to fully show their emotions because it's rage. Because men have rage and thoughts about screwing things, which totally get it. It is what it is.
Fucking
But,
right.
but also like I was a nanny for years and I've seen these kids get, oh my god, they would get so mad about the stupidest things, punch holes in their walls. First initial like instinct was anger, but because I babysat teenage boys and girls or whatever, I would just make them go run outside, get the adrenaline out. Like there's other ways to focus your anger, and I think that if the world was more healthy community, so like if people were eating healthier foods to balance out their regulations in their brain and stuff,
Going
along
outside.
with like working out, getting dopamine, getting like those actual right chemicals you need in your body, I feel like everyone could
I
get
think-
along a little better, and the men could process their emotions at the gym, get it out, get all the like out, and then be
Yeah.
like, okay,
I think that's why
I
that we have
process
gym
all
bros
this,
and stuff.
but yeah, and
That's, like,
this
their way
like because I like it because my gym guy friends, they'll like go at the gym like, I'm pissed off about this. They'll work out, then they're like, okay, I think I
Yeah,
processed
go-
it, but I
go
do
be your
yeah.
max.
Yeah, and they'll ask me for like advice sometimes, and sometimes they're like, wait, I'm gonna go deadlift this. Let me come back to you and see if I'm still upset. Then they come back like, hey, I'm good. I'll let you know if it bugs me.
I mean,
again
a lot
in
of guys
future."
will
I'm
just
like,
like
cool.
sit in their car.
Well,
they're
well, like
Yeah, right now,
everybody
got it.
emotes. Everybody thinks that we emote the same. Like women emote one way, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
y'all like therapy. Like Carl Jung, like Ari proved a long time ago. Women love therapy and to be able to talk about your issues. Men emote by going and lifting, doing a sport,
Yeah, doing
competing with other
something
men,
physical.
You
doing
gotta get
something
it out
physical.
physically. Fucking bitches.
Yeah, that's why you always. That's why you always want to teach a boy to be productive. 'Cause
Yes.
it's just
Oh,
the channel between inspiration and production has to be empty. You want him to be able to be inspired by whatever he's feeling emotionally and then go straight into production, whether that be working out
Mm.
or whatever he's doing in his life. And that's why that's a huge problem in the school system now is because they have these boys and they want them to sit down like little girls for 8 hours straight. And if they
Yeah.
don't do that, they tell them, because there's mostly female teachers, they don't understand the masculine experience. They send them to the office, and next thing you know, these boys are in special classes.
On
Well, really, they
ADHD
just
meds.
need to be able to
Yeah.
do something with their hands.
Yeah, and
Really,
I
they just need a way to
fully
channel whatever
agree.
they feel.
Like standing
Yeah,
for
I
like a
used to do
lesson.
TED Talks on that because whenever I was in class, I'd get up and go walk laps in the hallway because I was like, Mom, I can't focus. Like, I'm about to have like a breakdown in classes because I can't sit still for this long. And so me and my friends, we would randomly text each other. It was typically guys with more ADHD would be like, hey, do you want to go walk to the lunchroom, high five each other, and go back to class? We'd be like, yeah. And it would just be some sort of exercise. And my TED Talks, I would talk about that. And I'm like, you can't make kids sit here raising their hand, shutting up every 5 seconds. You're basically training them to be little robots whenever the world is escalating the way it is. How do you expect them not to just whip out their phone and like cheat on everything? I hate to say it, but stop making them write a bunch of boring essays. Have them use like whatever the
ChatGPT.
yeah, use that, and then have them try to write an essay that's better. Be like, okay, now that
Yeah.
we saw the technology side of it, let's see what you can do. Like, there's so many other ways and so many projects that we could do other than standardized testing.
Yeah, so
I have a
yeah,
sorry.
well, I just wanted to say really quick. So the reason why this is so hard for all of us today, and like as y'all can see, it's very a lot of things are very gendered, right? It's very made for a certain gender and not the other. So there's a patriarchy and there's a matriarchy. We all say that we're in a patriarchy because men run everything, right? And matriarchy would be a women at the top running everything. Well, it's a patriarchy, but it's also a gynocentric society. Gynocentric means complete takeover.
Yeah.
Complete takeover. So that's why all of our going to counseling, going to anything, it's all made directly for women. Even schooling, it's great for women. A lot of these things are made perfectly for women. In the society, I lose my job for saying some of the stuff I would say on this show. I could have my family cut me off. I can have girls cut me off from sex for the rest of my life hearing some things like that. Because in a gynocentric society, it's complete takeover. Complete takeover. So that's what's making this so hard for us to fight back, because there's a complete feminism takeover. And it's very hard for us to fight back against it.
Hey, we got a lot of.
Oh
super
yeah,
chats
let me
we
get to these
gotta
super chats,
catch up
guys.
on
We're so
these.
behind.
I was gonna ask if there was a
Yeah.
part 2 to that question.
Yeah.
So
No,
Well,
we're-
actually, we got into the part 2 before you even asked it.
How funny.
Oh,
$5 from Refined Randy. Shame on men who sleep around. You enable this degenerate culture and 304 women it creates. Learn self-control.
What
Hey,
is 304?
Shout out to Refined Randy,
But
man.
the
Everybody,
women of
guys,
well.
if you're fucking a girl that weighs more than you, you're the fucking problem.
What does 304
I'm
mean?
so
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look at a calculator upside down, it's hoe.
Oh, that's
Okay. I was
Here,
like,
go
what
to the
is
next
this?
one.
Okay.
$10 from Dr. Matt. The second part. Is it a
Yep.
red flag if a girl doesn't respect her father? Let's start on this side. Is it a red flag if a girl doesn't respect her father?
Pretty much, yeah, because she's not gonna want to serve a man.
Ooh, that's a good one. What do you think?
I say see what kind of dad it is, because if it's a piece of crap, I don't want you to respect him. Like, so
Ooh.
for me, I
Nuance.
love my dad, but there's been a situation where I did not love him because I thought something happened. I'm not going to out him on the situation because I still have my thoughts on that. But if I think you're a piece of crap dad, then okay. Like, if you did a bunch of bad things, but if he was like, if he worked for you, he provided for you, he tried to do his best, and I 100% think you should respect him. And if they don't, then I find that as a red flag. Mainly if you're blessed enough to have a dad that cares about you. You know.
Okay. What do you think?
Again, unless it's circumstantial, I do think that a woman needs to respect her dad, and that'll be very reflective of how she treats a man in her life. Because if she's got some sort of weird daddy issues, then that is also a really great indicator that she's going to perform the kind of way that men don't want women acting nowadays.
Yep.
You always, like, you see it in music nowadays, or like in culture. Like, if someone talks about daddy issues, 9 out of 10, she's not acting the way men want women to act anymore.
No, yeah, you're right.
So yeah,
What do you think about daddy issues stuff, bro?
Yeah.
daddy issues, mommy issues,
Oh.
all of them.
All of the issues.
I
Red
think-
flag.
Yeah, if a woman can't respect her father, that's a red flag. Or even, and I know this is a tough one too, I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but it certainly makes it harder. If a woman doesn't have a father in her life, it also makes it
Or a
significantly
male
harder.
at all? Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I do the show because I realize so many girls don't even have brothers, don't even have a
Yeah,
father,
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
anybody,
It
bro.
becomes very
Some of them have
clear.
0 men in their lives. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
because they don't understand the masculine perspective. They
But
don't
like
understand the
we
masculine
see that with the
sacrifice.
men too today, bro. I see tons of men that have no women in their lives, and that's why they're incels. Like, or that's why they literally have no girls that want to be around them because they don't even know, they're not socially calibrated, and they're 0% socially calibrated. And some women are the
That's
same.
good. That's
Yeah.
a good point.
I was gonna say there's 2 ways on the dad aspect though, because I've also seen daddy's girls. Yes, be a daddy's girl, cool. But whenever I've seen some that kind of treat their men like crap. Like, I don't want to say like crap because they're expecting good things out of their men, but they expect so much without doing anything.
Because the
sometimes
dad
I
was
kinda,
so good, he spoiled the shit out of her.
yeah,
Yeah.
Spoiled
He
the
made
shit.
the
So
expectations
if you
up
respect
here.
your dad because he spoiled you by showering you with all yeses and everything to where you don't understand how to take no, then I find it as a problem.
Ooh, that's a good one
You
too,
know?
actually. And a lot of guys are that I need to stop spoiling my daughter. I'm gonna. I buy her a new dress every damn week. She wants a new princess. She's only 4, okay? She
Well,
wants
no,
a princess
you're
dress.
supposed
all the
to
time.
do it then.
Yeah,
I
she's a
just think if
baby.
she's a teenager, don't treat her like, you know
I
the
would
levels.
say don't stop that. Like, 'cause I was a daddy's girl before he died. And he did like everything. Like my dad brought me everything. However, he did set the expectation for me, and like I'm just not gonna just accept just anything.
The bare minimum.
And that's what Jay Waller says. Like Jay Waller said that he's gonna spoil the shit out of his daughter. Shouts to Jay Waller because he wants to set the expectation so high that no man's gonna be able to step in and be better than him. At the worst case scenario, he's gonna take care of his daughter for the rest of her life. What do you think though? Do you think that a girl that doesn't respect her father is gonna be a big red flag?
Yes, of course I do. Of course, I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel does. As someone whose family did pass away at a very young age, I don't have that role. I listened to you say that, I was like, damn, I ain't got no dad. It was tough. And seeing people like as someone without parents like disrespect their father or their mother or whoever, like I hated those. I hated
taking
those
it for
people.
granted.
A lot of people take it for granted now, like what they have. And
That's
I
so
mean,
true.
I get emotional over it. But when my dad was alive, before they all passed, but I was young. But like as like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, like I mean, I looked up to him. He was the strongest man in my life. He held up my family. He kept us together. So yeah, I think it's a big red flag whenever like a woman doesn't respect her father.
And a big green
I
flag
mean,
when she does.
Yeah, I mean he's helping you. He's what makes a family really.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, they basically took my words out of my mouth.
Yeah, your last word.
Yeah, in regards to like the first part, the second part, it's the same thing, vice versa. Yeah, like if it also just depends on the person with their relationship with their father too. I feel like that has a aspect towards it. So.
Okay. What was
I got a follow-up question regarding that
Yeah,
because
go.
that goes back to Matt's initial question. Like, is it a red flag if a guy doesn't respect his mother? And I heard a couple times they said, well, even if the mother was a piece of shit mom, it wouldn't be okay. But yet, whenever we flip the script and we hear like a father that's a piece of shit, then it's like, oh, it's okay if I don't respect him.
No, we said it was the same either way. But at least
Yeah.
I did. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Yeah,
vice
it's same.
versa.
If your
Yeah,
mom
we're
or
the same both
dad,
ways.
if they're not good, if they're like substance abusers and they do not raise you properly, end of story. I mean, I'm not gonna respect you. Like my birth mother, I'm not gonna lie, she was a horse. I have 9 siblings
Mhm.
because she was a substance abuser, and all she wanted was to get pregnant and get that federal income. She wasn't
Jesus.
she wasn't keeping the children and raising them. She would have us and then give us away.
But you don't
And I think
oh,
guys are the same. No, you're fine. I think that like fathers are the same way. I mean, if my dad it doesn't work the same because a lot of women, obviously they get more help and whatever. Like they keep having kids, they get money for those kids, and it's not the opposite.
Where the guy
because
loses money every kid he
they
makes.
lose money. Yeah, it's so true. But yeah, I just think
Shout
that
out the
I think it
future.
should be the same. I know I have like a a circumstance for a woman more than a man. My original father wasn't in my life. We don't even know who it was because she kind of slept around. So that's that.
Donnie, the TV turned off.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know how.
But yes, I'd love to hear what you were gonna say.
No,
I'm sorry,
I was
didn't
just
mean to
gonna
interrupt
say, I mean, I personally think respect is a choice. So like,
you. It is.
even if my mom
It needs to
didn't
be
raise
earned,
me in a
too.
way
Yeah,
I felt
that's what I
like
was gonna say.
was the best way, no matter what, I have to respect her.
Right,
For at least her sacrifices that she did make.
Like you
on
have to
my
see
behalf.
the circumstances around it. Like,
Yeah, and
what caused that.
because especially nowadays. Well, see, my mom had me at 18, so I don't
Right.
expect her to be perfect because I know at 18
Yeah, of
I ain't know
course.
nothing about the world.
Yeah.
So the fact that she even did as well as she did, no matter how wrong I felt she did certain things, I would always have to respect her.
Yeah, when you're
And-
older,
and I
you
think-
understand that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think part of being an adult and maturing in your life is understanding that nobody's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, no, of
So
course.
you really have to be careful with saying like, oh, they weren't a good parent because, hell, yeah, that's tough. Yeah,
it's
like,
hard.
it's tough.
Like successfully raising, in my opinion, a good parent is someone who successfully like helps your child through things and like
Yeah.
raises you
Like,
to be
just support and
someone
love
who-
them.
well,
you know?
that
I, know,
too,
I understand
but like
if you can't
raising you
provide a
as
lot, but-
someone who's gonna help be beneficial to the world
Yeah.
and not like put others down. I mean, you're gonna help out and you're just gonna be you're just be that guy. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
No
and
matter
for
what, though,
sure.
I'm gonna respect them.
Yeah, no, of course.
So like,
It's
my
not
mama
even
could have
a
been a
different way to
drug
lose
abuser.
that.
Yeah, my mama could have been a drug abuser. She could have been abusive to me.
Was
But no
she?
matter what, if I'm nah, yeah,
Then you don't
but-
know that story.
yeah,
though.
but I'm saying no matter what my parents could have ever done to me.
Really?
I
yes,
do think
absolutely.
it's fair to say if you've never
yeah,
been in
I'm-
that situation, it's
I'm-
kind of hard to
It's
speak
hard
in
to say.
absolute.
Well,
I
well-
had lamps thrown at me as a kid, and we got burned with cigarettes. Like
Well-
I'm not gonna respect someone who does that because that's
Yeah.
their
Again, if you've
choice.
never been in it, I don't think you can speak in absolutes. I can say I think in this situation I might, but
Okay,
unless you know for
Right.
sure, don't be
But
absolute
I
about
get
it.
your basis.
But
I
also,
agree.
think
Here, let him
about
talk
it,
real
you're a
quick.
guy, she's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hate
well,
saying that's all
yeah,
true.
I wanna hear his
it might
point.
make a difference.
One
but
mic at a time. One mic at a time.
Yeah, I want to hear his point here.
if I get to the point where it's that serious, I'm just not gonna be a part of their lives, and that's a choice that I'm gonna make for myself.
But what if you're
But to
younger?
not respect somebody,
Right.
as in like you're like, I would assume the opposite of that is disrespect. That's a whole different
I
thing.
feel
I'm
like
not
or
gonna call my
indifference.
mama up.
There's
Or
like
indifference.
business neutral to where it's like I don't like
Exactly.
you, I don't hate you, but I know you're not a positive impact in my
Yeah,
life. Like,
well-
oh, I'm just gonna.
Well, see, a person
slay
like that would
society.
probably have that person out of their lives.
Yeah.
But to disrespect somebody, like if you don't respect them, you disrespect them. That's a whole different thing. Now, if you just
Yeah,
saying
that's
like,
a step ahead.
yeah,
You know.
well, I'm saying like if you got a man that doesn't respect his mom in a sense where he's like, I'm not talking to my mother at the moment because of these, this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
That's different than just like not respect. Like
Yeah.
disrespect her. I
Fully
don't know.
agree. I'm
I
pretty
don't-
sure you're like kind of on the same page.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I just.
No, I completely understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I guess to me it's just I always see some of the things they did as a sacrifice on my behalf, and even if their lives wasn't perfect and they made mistakes, I'd have to at least respect them to some degree. I
That's
wouldn't
valid.
disrespect them. That's
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
valid.
No,
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah, I cut those people in my life. So
I was
Yeah.
going to ask that
Good
same
choice.
thing. Like, what is y'all's definition of respect? Because I mean, well, poor man here already answered it for us. Because I think we're not really understanding the context of the question. Because you can still respect someone and still not like want to
Still not
talk
like
to
them?
them.
Like-
Yeah, not want to be around them or whatnot. Because as you mentioned, there's an opposite. The opposite of respect is disrespect. It's not like you're over here like, oh fuck you, bitch, even though you might be my
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, if you doing
Like,
that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love the disembodied
Yeah.
voice. That just
Yeah, I
speaks
know
in
that
this
shows up.
podcast.
Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna have to hear it more because the TV went out.
Yeah, we don't. We
Yeah,
can't see the questions anymore.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Donnie, can you read them off to? Or
Yeah,
what's
I
the next
got you.
super
The
chat?
next one,
Oh,
$5
thank you.
from Beaten Cheeks. Poor Man Pod. Big fan. Gotta meet you soon. Ladies, would you date a Chad, stud, but super broke, or fat, wealthy, but beta and submissive to you? So let me read that back. So, ladies,
I
would you?
I need a sing.
Ladies,
Hold
hold
on.
on. Listen. Ladies, would you date a Chad, stud, but super broke, or fat, wealthy, but a beta and submissive to you?
Yeah, we'll start with you on this one.
I feel like, because to me, money doesn't matter to me. Like, it all depends on your personality. Like, yeah, I have
The
to,
vibe.
everybody has to have some sort of attraction, like, to the other person when they're in a relationship. Because if not, then it's like, what are you in a relationship for? So, like, I can't really say either or.
She's all about the vibe, though, so we know
Yeah,
what's
the
up.
vibe.
What do you think?
Can you repeat it one more time? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Would you date a Chad, stud, but super broke, or fat, wealthy, but beta and submissive to you?
Okay, definitely the first one. Just because of purely, I mean, I am gonna go after you based on your looks because that is the first thing I notice about you. And then if I find that we have that connection, I don't care if you're broke. If we have that connection, that's like, you guys want to make peanut butter jelly sandwiches and just like put a movie on like the YouTube or whatever, I'm down to do that. I mean, that's totally cool with me. But I mean, you're gonna make that connection first on finding that physical attractiveness.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
First one, absolutely, because money is always going to come, money is always going to go. If I have a good relationship with you and we're moving towards the same goal, I don't give a flying flip which one of us is financing it. So even if you're broke, that means I'm going to just work extra hard.
What do you think?
He can be that stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
That's kind.
No.
Hold on.
No. I was
Yeah.
thinking that's sarcastic.
Here, hold
No.
on. I got a good one. Go ahead.
So personally, I don't like pretty boys, so that part doesn't really have an effect on the decision. But I've dated broke boys, and if you're broke with no motivation to work or to do anything with your life, I am uninterested. in
That's
you.
Well,
true.
does broke in the
So,
question mean
if
doesn't have money or not making money?
Oh, like
Right.
not motivated to
So,
make money.
Yeah, because if you're not motivated to make money, bye. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if you work, but you just happen to not.
We're
like,
gonna say
like, I
you
was
pay
a
a majority
teacher.
of the rent. That's
Yeah.
how we're gonna say
Yeah,
it.
Okay,
but
yeah.
That's how it
I'm
is.
sorry, I don't give a crap what you look like. If I'm having to pay for shit, I don't give a rat's butt. Like if you want to provide for me, cool, I would like that. But it's a I don't want to say a 50-50, but it's like if we're not like married, I'm gonna pay for my stuff. You're gonna pay for your stuff.
It's
But-
75-25.
Yeah, but I dated, as his literal description, a short, fat man that was submissive to me that made money. And that was one of the top relationships I've ever been in because he had the drive to do stuff. So he was still like a man because he was going out, he was working, he was doing what he needed to do.
His
And
provider.
and he happened to be a fat dude with pink hair and face tattoos, and I adored the shit out of him. And he
What a
treated.
funny looking
he-
guy I just made up. in
I
my
did.
head.
Yeah, yeah, out of my head.
Oh yeah.
I thought emo Patrick Star.
Oh yes, what? yes. And he was so adorable whenever I liked him. But the thing was though, he treated me like a princess because he was more submissive. Because he was like, I want you to be happy, and I'm gonna make this money. Here's some food. You know, it was
Yeah.
just. It was
So
nice.
wait, why'd y'all break up?
Right.
Yeah, why you still not with them?
I wasn't emo enough for him. I'm emo, but he's got face tattoos. I can't bring him home. So, and I was 19 at the time. He's engaged now to a girl that gets like anarchy piercings down her back. They are super cute
That's just
together.
the type of guy he is.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
not fully. I have like 5 different personalities, and he didn't want to go country dancing or anything. Like we could game and do emo shit, but if I was like, "Hey, let's go to church," he was like,
No.
"It's like
Yeah.
okay, all right,
Mhm.
that's not gonna." piece
Compatibility
together."
wasn't
we're
there.
still
Wait,
friends,
wait,
though.
wait. You're telling me you finally had a man that was emotional, but you ain't want him?
Ooh.
Pause.
Oh,
Pause. Loved his emotions. Loved the way he communicated with me. Absolutely zero problems with that. We still talk. He's great. But it was a religious aspect for me personally because I wanted a church man, and I thought he may have been religious enough for me, but he wasn't to the point that I had intended for
He
a
didn't hold the same
long-lasting
values.
relationship. Yeah, and at the time he had some issues with like alcohol and stuff like that, and he was going to go to rehab. And so I was like, "You work on yourself, do everything you need to do. I'm in your corner, but let's do it as friends."
The amount of red flags I'll be hearing.
So
sometimes
you
on the
got-
show.
Yeah,
You got with
yeah.
a guy that had face tattoos, anarchy, and assumed that he was gonna go to church with you.
Well, no, you
And he was an alcoholic. And he was an alcoholic.
with pink hair.
fully correct.
Hey,
correct
she
by your
didn't say
statement.
that she was picking the right
But-
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
no.
okay.
I met him at his concert. Of course, I didn't pick the right one.
Yeah,
But
that's how we
also-
pick up guys.
Yeah, but also he was never against my religion because I dated someone that was like, "Your R word, for being a Christian." Then I was like, "No, bye." Dumped him on the spot. But for him, he was like, "Hey, I support all of your like religious aspects." So in my mind, I was just like, "Okay, he's Christian too."
You thought you could turn him around.
Yeah, well, not turn him around because I'm not gonna force my opinion, but also like
She
show
thought
him
him
that.
not saying anything meant a good thing.
Right. Since
Yeah.
he didn't say anything, I was like, okay, he's probably non-denominational, just like chill Christian, where you like believe, but you don't like totally shove it in people's faces.
Right.
That's just kind of what I assumed. And then he was like, hey, I'm not really the type to go to church, but I am going to support everything you say and believe in. And I was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, I want someone that's gonna
Raise
want
the
to make
family in
me
the
go
church.
to church
Yeah.
because there's nights or days whenever I wake up and I'm like, man, I really don't want to go. But if he's like, hey, we're gonna go to church and we're gonna get breakfast, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, let's go do some cute shit, and I couldn't do that with him.
Yeah.
So
Before we move forward, I gotta ask
Oh,
this
girl.
question.
Mm.
He was fat and he was providing.
Yeah.
Did you still sleep with him?
oh yeah, that dude gave me some great. Oh yeah, yes I did. Yes,
Yeah.
gladly. We were dating, of course I did.
You got her
He's
down
Yeah.
memory lane.
He's
There you
my
go.
man.
Here, go ahead.
So I'm definitely going for the fat guy. I want to be provided for. I'm sorry. I just have to be honest with you. And if it's broke, you're broke. Like
Yeah.
there's no motivation on nothing because if you wouldn't be broke if you were motivated. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Agreed,
Well,
agreed.
that's why
I got to ask the ladies really quick that all said that you wanted the opposite. How many times have y'all dated that guy before?
again, I think it
How many
depends.
times have you
that
dated
one
that
or
guy
the
before?
Giga
Just,
Chad?
just answer really.
Several
just,
times.
Just okay. Why are you not with any of them anymore? Exactly.
no
Hold
longer-
on. I want everybody
I
to.
have an answer for
No,
that.
but I already know the nuance of it. Just hold
No,
on.
you do not.
No, trust me. I do. Trust me. I've heard your answer at least 50 times on this show. Here, hold on. Just really quick.
Wait.
You two.
What was the-
What the hell?
You said that you would want to be
You
with
wanna
like,
date a Chad stud
like the Chad
that's
guy. Have
super
you
broke.
have you taken care of a guy before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what happened? You're still not with him?
Shit.
Have you taken care of a guy
20
before?
years old.
Practically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still with him?
No.
No. Okay. So there's a reason why it doesn't work, ladies. Y'all want a beta provider.
No, we
Ironic.
do not.
Hold on. Let me finish. Your best dating strategy is the beta provider. Dr. David, shout out to Dr. David Buss in the Evolution of Desire. He talks about this extensively. Your best bet is the beta provider because he's not going to run away after he gets you pregnant. If this was 100,000 years ago as cave people, that guy, if y'all wanted to sit here and Chad chase like y'all are doing, you would have ended up left with a baby that you were going to take care of by yourself in the wilderness, and y'all would have both died. Okay, so your best strategy is the beta bucks, the beta provider guy. He's always been the best guy for marriage and children. What y'all are seeking is great for short term. Also, I don't disagree that y'all love the attractive dude. I know you do. I see the studies every day for it. So I agree with y'all, but that doesn't mean that's your best strategy. That's just what you want. And I would argue women don't know what the fuck they want today. They need a man to tell them what they need. And the second you have a real man that shows you what you need, which is a house and a 401k and children and all this shit, you stop chasing what you want.
Well, yeah.
Women chasing what they want is one of the worst things that's happened today.
Well, yeah. What happened was women were able to make more money so they could provide for themselves. So now they can use a short-term, dating strategy. They can just try to date people based on their attractiveness because they don't need to rely on anybody anymore.
But it never.
But you're still hardwired to want to provide.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hypergamy is a real thing. It statistically shows women want a man that makes 52% more than them. So if you make 100K a year, you probably would like a guy who makes 150K a year. That's what you want.
And what you were saying with a man needing to tell a woman what they want is the very reason why fathers were always a part of a woman's strategy when she was, or a woman's relationship when she was choosing who to be with. Because dad don't care about what he looked like. He want to know what's his credit score. He want to know, is he capable of going to work for 5 years in a row every single day? He wants to know, does this man have any drive in his life?
Have a 401k.
And these are the things that a father would look for versus when a daughter's just out here in the world just picking whoever she wants. She gonna pick based off just attractiveness, and that's gonna put you in a bad spot.
For me, really quick, just want to finish off mine. Why I did choose the fat guy with the money is because like the guy that looks good, that's broke. Eventually, I'm gonna start to resent him. I'm gonna start talking shit to him, and I'm not gonna respect him. Yeah. Because definitely, if I'm getting my ass up and going to work every day, and you want to sit here and play the game or want to say you're job hunting and stuff like that, it's a problem for me.
The fight or flight response to that
I need
conversation.
the ambition and the drive. Not like anybody can have money, but it's all about if like they're even doing anything.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that kind of relationship concept of the good-looking guy that doesn't do anything. That reminds me of like a high school college relationship where because like for me, those were honestly, well, they weren't good-looking, but they were lazy bums. And those were the relationships I kind of sought after because I was so busy. They were always free. So the few times I was able to hang out, I would go be lazy with them and relax. And then I realized I would rather have someone else that's also busy. And then we can like be relaxing together, not someone that's literally always a bum. Whenever you're like 18 and under, yeah, cool. Enjoy your little like smoke vibe, like hippie relationship where you just get stoned and do nothing every single day. But if you're like an adult, you need someone that you can actually build a future with.
It's if you want a family and kids. If you want family and kids, you should probably start thinking about it.
Yeah, well, not really.
What were you gonna say, Michaela?
I just have a statement. So I'm 20.
Yeah.
So I haven't necessarily taken care of a man,
like.
and I'm not talking about my ex. My ex was not that guy. I mean, he was really really good. I was talking about like a previous relationship, like my like taking care, like he happened to be really fucking good looking, like fucking hot.
Yeah, and every other woman thought that too, just so you know.
No, absolutely, I believe it. And he did. I mean, I was like the one that was like, not providing. I meant like I was like the one paying for like dates and stuff.
Yeah.
Like constantly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Which I know, but like he would like just like be like, oh, I'm too broke, like we can't like do anything. I'd be like, oh no, I'll pay for it. Let's go to fucking.
You want though?
See,
No, it didn't turn me on, but I didn't see it as like that big of a deal.
Yeah,
and that might
feminism
be
tells us
because
not a big
I
deal.
didn't have someone like to show me that no, like I mean I always heard that no, the guy should pay for it, and then I was like, why? I can do it. I have the money for it. I'll pay for it.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
I mean now I'm like, I mean I would like to have like someone who would like want to like pay for our stuff and like take care of me. I just don't know how. That's just in my head. That's not realistic for me because I don't happen to be like one of those supermodel girls that like they're gonna like want to come home and take care of me.
That ain't what
You're
it
so
gotta be, though.
hot, and you don't think you are.
Yeah,
and
that ain't-
right?
You ain't gotta. You don't gotta be a
Trust me.
supermodel to find
Yeah.
one of those men.
I know, but in like a way that like we're both like compatible with each other.
I think if
feel
we're
like-
going around and defending our statements, I'm gonna do the exact same thing.
I just
Go
wanted
ahead.
to explain because I
Go
haven't-
ahead. Give me the nuance.
Yeah,
But the whole
sorry.
point was that those
It's not the
relationships don't
nuance.
work.
Yeah,
No, because my whole
The
point is that
relationship
those
could have
don't
worked.
work.
And again, let me make my statement. Thank you. The reason I didn't go with the second option is because I do not want a man who's submissive to me. And whoever asked that question, I can't call him out because we don't have the screen anymore. He mentioned that in the second option, he's submissive to me. I don't want that.
That's true.
So I can't agree with that because I don't want someone submissive to me. So I picked the first one because I have been in that relationship before. And the reason that I'm not still in those relationships, the first one, I was with him for so long and I was always making more money than him because he wasn't educated in any way. He didn't have a lot of life skills, unfortunately, but he was going to be that person that once we got past the bump of financial issues, would he have been a great husband and father? Maybe. And that at the time was enough motivation to continue the relationship. But the reason it ended is because he got so guilty and he felt so little about himself that he made less money than me that he went out and cheated on me. And when I found out about it, I dumped him because if I'm with someone
Good.
for 3 years and I'm paying their way in life and they cheat on me, I'm not staying.
Here, so like this is the
That
issue
doesn't
though.
sound like a Chad.
Hold on.
Well, he was very good looking.
Here-
he
here-
could pull, but if he pulled someone else at a club or something and they went back home with him, they'd realize they had nothing to offer.
Here, so like let me give you a little explanation of what usually happens in these. Shout out to Steven Speaks because he speaks on this almost in every one of his books. I've read all of them. And the thing is, the trauma cycle that most women in general are in today is a trauma cycle that started when you were young. Usually you get with a guy when you're young and you devote everything to him. You show all, it's just like the fairy tale shit.
The
You
girlfriend
you,
treatment.
you try your hardest. You do full devotion for this man. And usually you are both young and he's not ready because he's young. He's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's not ready. And y'all end up breaking up because he's not ready. When that heartbreak happens, most women will put a wall up and say, I never want to get hurt like this ever again. Every relationship that I'm in from now on, I want it to be in my frame. I want it to be in my control and my power where I'm the one that's on the top and the guy is under me because I'll never get hurt again like I got hurt that first time. So usually in those situations, the guy either ends up cheating or the woman ends up cheating sooner or later. One of y'all will, because either he'll cheat because the relationship is so disrespectful to him, he's going to end up cheating, or you'll end up cheating because you don't really respect the guy at all. You never truly really liked him like you did like that original first person. And the only way to get past these traumas is to learn to show devotion fully again to somebody else again. Devotion is love. And a lot of people don't know how to show devotion anymore. Like me and my girl, it's constantly, what do you need? 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 People are tit for tat relationships now. It's like, oh, you did this for me. What are you going to do for me now? I did this for you. What are you going to do for me now? And so once we get past that barrier, you show full devotion to a man again. You're never going to want to be in a relationship like that again where you're above.
Okay.
It's all a protection mechanism to protect your heart.
He's
Yeah.
speaking
Yes,
in general,
but-
ladies. He's
yeah.
speaking in general.
Yeah, in general, most women who choose those relationships, it's to protect yourself. It's all
Yeah.
protection.
I was
Okay,
gonna
but-
piggyback on that a little bit,
Yeah.
because like whenever guys say like nice guys finish last, okay, whenever people say it as a joke, I'm like, haha, funny. But whenever they're like legit being like, but I'm a nice guy, like why don't you like me? They push it. There's girls that give the girlfriend treatment too early, like whenever they're younger, they act like the wife, and then they're like, well, I don't want to treat a guy like this. And there's nice guys that are like, okay, well now I don't want to treat a girl like this because I've just wasted.
They
my
both got
time doing-"
ruined. Yeah.
They both ruined it for each other of putting everything up front first to
Yeah.
not understanding that there's a balance act. Like, yes, give them the girlfriend treatment, but also like
Make sure you get
work your
something in
way
return.
into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
work your way into it. And the same thing for the guys aspect. And if people weren't so, oh, it messed up once, so that means I'll never get a woman, I'll never get a man, my life is over, like everyone sucks. If people stop doing that and just like, okay, that one person, we didn't fit well together, like puzzle, that wasn't my piece. Let me go see if there's a better one that fits versus thinking everyone's horrible.
What
Yeah.
were you gonna say something?
I was gonna finish my point.
Oh shoot,
my bad.
No, you're good. The second one that I was in that situation and it didn't work out, and actually I want to get the two guys' opinions on this. He broke it off because he felt bad that he wasn't the provider, and he said he would rather figure his shit out and come back when he did.
Yeah.
I kind of feel
Yeah,
like
because
So
why
that's
would I
why-
want to be in a relationship with somebody when
No,
I'm
I
constantly
don't
not
disagree,
happy?
But that's why you asked, why does the relationship not work? That's why, and I didn't want to say that because I have
it
enough
just
of the
proves
social.
it just proves my point that it never works though. At the end of the day, I'm still right. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm saying
I'm
it could
always right in
work.
this situation. I've never met one girl who came on the show that said that she did it for years and it ended up working out. There's not one girl out of the 175 girls that came on the show, not one of them have said that them doing that for years. Some of them had did it for 5 or 10 years and not one of them ever said it worked out. So I'm just telling you based off of maybe it's just anecdotal. And also I can show you studies too that women hypergamy, y'all like the guy that's more than you.
Yeah.
So there's facts, there's studies to show it and anecdotal proof that it's never going to work when you choose this. And I'm telling you, it is a trauma-based response. It is coming from you trying to protect your heart. A woman who isn't trying to protect her heart isn't going to try to be over a man, or it doesn't even want to be with a man like that. You need to live in your femininity, and hypergamy is not a bad thing. Like I say, all women are gold diggers, just some hide the shovel better than others. And if anything, we hate the bitches who fucking say they're gold diggers because it's like, bitch, you're giving the game out. Shut up.
Okay, then I want to get your opinion on this. What if the relationship didn't start like that?
We gotta give poor man the.
Well,
floor real quick.
I'll just be real quick. What I was gonna say is the resentment that she was talking about, it builds after you have kids.
Mhm.
And every man knows this. When you hold that baby in your hands for the first time and then you gotta let him hold that baby while you go to work, that's not something you're gonna like.
Yeah, I get it. And that's again, I
So-
think the clarification on the question would have been like, is he broke because he doesn't work, or does he just work and he just doesn't make a lot of like? There's different
But that's
definitions
you
of
gotta
broke.
understand-
Yeah, broke.
Yeah,
though.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying
broke is
like,
broke, though,
He
yeah.
knows you have a.
I know, but it
I'm
doesn't
talking-
change it. You
I'm
can
talking
be
about your
broke.
situation specifically.
Okay, my situation specifically that I actually want your opinion on is that the relationship didn't start like that. I didn't choose him as a trauma response because I wanted to feel good because I was making the money. When we met, he was. Situations for him changed and I chose to stay because I knew it was going to be temporary. And I said, I'm okay fronting that as an investment in our future.
Yeah.
So I think that my specific situation is very different because I didn't choose him to make me feel better about myself as a trauma response.
Yeah.
He was capable, he was a provider, he was the Chad stud, whatever. But situations change throughout the relationship.
Yeah, and shout out to Dr. David Buss. The 2 reasons why a woman ever leaves is because of the guy
I
like
didn't
losing.
leave. This is the
But
one
no,
where the
no,
guy
no, no, no,
left.
or even the guy though. Like the reason why these relationships fall apart is because he loses his job. He's not the same provider as he was before, or he hits you or something like that. There's only so many reasons why things usually break up. Like like we can look at studies to see that there's not a lot of reasons. And yes, income is one of the big ones. Maybe it made him insecure. Maybe it made him feel not like a provider. You're a model. So you have an Instagram where you're constantly posting
It's
yourself.
not, by the way, it's not
I'm
just
not-
Instagram. My Instagram's just a point of credibility. I'm
I
with
know.
an agency and everything.
I know, and that's fine. But all I'm saying is that a guy can be emasculated by many things today. Income, you having your stuff out like that, looking open even though you're not. Like all those
not
things can make, I'm just telling you, it can make the guy feel insecure and it can make him feel emasculated. So he's going to be more likely to want to walk away from that and not have those feelings if he's having those feelings. Like if he's feeling uncomfortable, he doesn't want to feel it.
Because of her relationship, he walked away because he was insecure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
I'm telling you, a lot of guys don't want to look. If I had to choose between a girl with 10,000 followers and a girl like my girlfriend with 100 followers, the 10,000 follower girl will never. I don't care how sexy she is. I don't care how big her ass and tits are. I don't care any of that stuff. I like my girl looks so valuable to me compared to that. Would I smash it? Yeah. Would I wife it? No. It's 2 completely different scenarios.
Okay, and I also think that how you have all those followers are also many different scenarios.
I know, but we understand as a man, if I'm trying to be like say like you're a man who has a lot to lose, you're gonna it's like insurance. You're not gonna sit there and take risk. You're gonna mitigate risk.
I was the most down for this guy he's ever had his entire life, and my Instagram following it's in no way. Those are not.
Maybe that's not
mutually
even. I'm not even
exclusive.
accusing you. That's what it is. I'm just giving you examples of what could have emasculated. I'm not accusing of what it could
How
have
long
been.
was he out of work? Oh my.
Oh, I just have a quick question for her.
Yeah.
Do you think that you are submissive in your relationship?
I know
Or
I
are you
am.
are
know
you
I
more
am.
of a dominant or
No.
alpha
She
kind of
definitely sounds
person?
like a smart girl. She went to
Yeah.
school for psychology. Like she's not dumb. Like she
Yeah.
knows how to be feminine. She's
I'm
been saying
smart
feminine
enough
answers all
to
day.
know that, and most of the partners I've ever had, this one that I'm talking about included, he even said, "You're smarter than me. You are in some way too smart for me," and that's
Oh, yeah.
because he likes more submissive. When I am very
Oh, yeah,
submissive
so-
in like a religious aspect. I love.
Conditional.
That's
I-
over.
No, it's not. It's not conditional. The only thing that I was dominant in is that for a brief period I was financially dominant, but socially or metaphorically or sexually, I was very submissive to him.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. Like we do these panels all the time, and like we could like people's energy bleeds out of them.
Yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You have a type A personality.
I know I
like,
do.
Like you're very like you have like the way you communicate and a lot of the ways that you debate and talk. It's masculine. If I was with you in a relationship, I would get annoyed and done with it so fast.
Well, you're
Just-
not in a relationship with me. I'm
Just
very
like
different
just
with
the
a
interrupting,
partner.
but I'm just giving you an example. Like even like the interruption that you just did right there, 3 seconds ago. That's the type of stuff where some guys are like, okay, I can't deal with this. I'm gone. And I'm just telling you, a submissive woman doesn't even argue with a man at all. Like you said this the other day. Like you actually explained this way better than me. So you say it, but like basically how like feminine women act a completely different way. Like you say it. I can't even say it.
I'm
Right.
in a room of strangers. I'm not going to act like my
Okay.
most perfect self with people I
Say,
don't
but
know.
I'm in a room with strangers too, but if there's a door that needs to be open and all of y'all are behind me, I'm opening the door because I'm
That's
gonna be
fair.
masculine either way. You know what I
Respect.
mean? And that's why I was gonna ask how long he was out of work for because
I don't
you-
want to get
and
into
I was gonna bring up your
specifics
type of personality, which for some guys is okay, but he gonna have to be willing to spar with you quite often. I
we
can
didn't
tell.
spar. That's what I'm saying. I honestly like you don't
were
know
sparring
me.
right
How I
now.
am behind closed doors with my partner is not how I am with a group full of strangers on an internet talk show.
Yeah, well, we just talking about from the outside.
Yeah.
looking in.
Yeah. No, that's
Because
all. I was saying.
generally speaking, how you are is gonna it transpires into who you are, like throughout the day.
Personally and
Like, if I-
professionally are two different things.
Yeah.
I was
Hey,
gonna
we got,
say
go.
for
we
the
got some more
summit-
super chats.
Yeah,
we gotta
yeah,
get to.
yeah. We got to read these last ones because we're down to the last times, guys.
We
Yeah,
got so many to catch up.
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. We're just gonna read the super chats and then do the
All right.
last questions, guys.
So next one, $5 from Refined Randy. Ironic how so many women are against men being disrespectful to their mom, yet they as women so often have a problem being disrespectful to their dad.
Yeah, we went into that.
We already,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went
yeah,
But
we were
this
just
was-
reading it. We're
This
just reading
was
them off.
this
real quick.
was
We
read
agreed
well
on
before we
equality.
even talked about it.
Yeah,
So,
here. Yeah, go. What's the next one?
next one, $5, $2 from Beaten Cheeks. Body count always body count always matter to men such as myself. And
was-
And he makes a lot of money. He has a house in Dubai. He's a rich ass dude.
Yeah, but I read this dude's comments. I didn't.
Yeah, being cheeks is funny. Go ahead. What's the next one?
You call
Is
me
there
a
another-
Vogue model 'cause I wasn't on
$5
Vogue.
$5 from Refined Randy. I don't feel good. I can't cook dinner tonight. Imagine if a man said, I don't feel good. I can't do work. I can't go to work. Real men hardly ever take sick days.
The big one also is like a lot of women sometimes will be like, oh, I don't want to have sex today, or I don't want to do this, or like be sexual kind of with their man, like even in marriage and stuff. And it's like he can't be like, hey, I'm not paying the rent this month. I don't feel like it. It's like it's not fair at all. Like the Bible says that if as long outside of worship, y'all should have sex with each other when the other one wants it. If the woman wants it, the man should give it to her. If the man wants it, the woman should give it to him.
Yeah.
And that's something that's held over people's heads all the time in marriage.
All
What
right.
was the next one?
$5. Refined Randy. Women on the panel. Describe the man you want to marry. His physical appearance, his personality, and his income.
Physical
We-
appearance,
That's-
personality,
that's
and
a lot
income.
of opinions.
So we could
That's
do
a
this
loaded
real
question.
quick
Yeah,
though.
that's
We're gonna have to
that's
do it real
very
quick. We don't.
Loaded question.
Hey,
Just do
we're
income
go-
and height. How about that? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Height?
income
Because
and height.
Yeah,
Do something else, not height.
because it's
Yeah.
physical.
How about just
I don't
moving one
know,
point a guide? Just like break it down real quick.
That is
Here.
No, I
Just
think income and height would
do
be
it on
great.
which aspect
Go
you
ahead,
care
Abby.
about.
Two things.
two things. At the top of my head, how your drive and
What if he
physical-
drives you off a cliff?
No. I mean, I'm down.
height.
Income. What's the minimum
Oh,
income that you
income
want
and
to have?
She doesn't care about it. $30,000, 10 grand. She already said she doesn't care about income earlier.
Like, and for income, I would say like enough to where you're financially stable to be able to support me and you.
What does that mean? Because that could be different for every woman. Though.
Exactly.
Depends
That's
on the lifestyle.
Like,
exactly. It depends on
and
the
that's your lifestyle though. Like,
yeah, he's
how
asking
often
about
do you
each
like
of
to
us
go out to eat?
specifically.
Once
I
every
don't-
week? Once every 2 weeks?
No, like it's just whenever I feel like.
Okay, if it's just once a month, then
Like a
he can
very
make
big
38. He can make
question.
35
That's not
grand a
big.
year
I could
then.
like. I don't know.
You
I
say make
genuinely
35,000 a
don't
year then.
know. Like I said, like I can't pinpoint a certain amount. It just all depends on like.
Because like kids, like
It depends how
there's a lot
sexy he is.
about
Because the
sex.
sexier he is, the lower that number goes, guys. It just depends how sexy he is.
No,
no,
Okay.
not at all.
Just-
No.
But you had said drive. Remember, he needs to be purpose driven. Because if it's just drive, he will drive you off a cliff.
yes.
What about you though? Give us two things. Income and then something else.
And we're not doing height. Okay.
You can do
You can
height
do
if
height,
you can.
yeah.
No, I don't fucking care. As long as he's taller than me, that's all my. That's
Yeah.
literally my gist.
I
So
don't care as
income-
long as he's taller than me. So you care.
Well, okay, yes, I care as long as he's taller than me. Just like how men are like, oh, as long as she's not fat.
Right.
Exactly. Well,
Well, you
okay.
can control what you
Income
can't
as long as we're comfortable. That's it. As long as we have not necessarily luxury items like the newest car, the newest iPhone, just enough to be comfortable where we're at.
A one bedroom with cat and you're happy.
Exactly. And a happy family. And then I can't think of another one.
No.
Just as long as we're happy. I don't care.
That's good.
Taller than me, more than me.
Perfect. Hypergamy. Let's go.
The finance like depends on like what stages we're at as we go, but don't get me wrong, I was a teacher for a while, so I was broke as shit, and it was really hard picturing
Talk right now. Right
having
now.
like amount of kids and stuff like that I wanted. And I was raised in a more suburban household, same house since I was 2 stories. So it's like I'm not expecting some. Shut up! I don't expect some like crazy money like exactly what Michaela was saying, but enough to like support my kids and try to provide as much as I can. Like I'd like them to be able to play club sports, and that's expensive.
Yeah.
So and then
cheerleading, ridiculous.
Yeah,
He needs
but-
a 6-figure guy, bro.
Well, I mean, just like enough to where together we have enough to do what we want to do with
She
our
wants a
lives.
2-story house. She needs a 6-figure guy. yeah.
Well, not if I take over my own
Six
house, but along with same thing for the height, who's taller than me, only because like I wear like combat boots and my country boots. I don't want to be us dancing and your head's in my boots. I would prefer you to be above me.
fuck up.
Oh my god.
Me. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it straight to the point. Taller than me, definitely more than me. 6 figures, or you know,
figures.
it has to be.
Has to be.
But I respect your goals.
Hey, yeah, no, I like it when people are honest about their preferences, because if there's anything wrong with the world today, it's everybody lying about shit. If we were just all straight up with how we really felt about shit, God, this
We
world would
wouldn't
be so
be
much
here.
simpler. Yeah, we would not be at
this
this table.
podcast wouldn't
Dead,
exist.
exactly, dead ass. No, for real. What's the next one, Donnie?
We
Was
got
there?
$5 from Refined Randy again. Women on the panel. Raise your hand if you can cook good from scratch.
Cook good from scratch. Make sure the camera gets.
I don't know about that.
I love to cook.
It's okay. You can learn. Honestly, it's not that
I
hard.
want to learn.
YouTube University is
All
If
right.
I had
easy.
someone to teach me, I think
I
I,
got
could do
you.
it. I know. I know. I yeah, I can't do it.
You're like open.
I'm
to
one
it.
of those people. If you give me instructions, I know I can do it. I know I can do it well. I just couldn't do it from scratch.
Oh,
Hey,
Right.
all I
That's
gotta
valid.
say is seasoning goes a lot further than just salt and pepper.
That is
I
true.
know. That's
Ouch. What was the next one, Donnie? Was there another one?
Yep. $2 from Gotta See Johnny. What made you have sex before marriage?
Ooh, we're gonna start on this one this time.
I think that I just was curious. I had started watching porn at a very young age, to be honest.
Porn will
and
definitely do it.
I just wanted to see what it was in it for.
Took me a few seconds to recognize it. Wow.
Not to be overly blunt with it, but I wanted to wait until marriage until Grape happened, and I waited all the way until I was yeah, I was like my second year of
Was that a
college,
soundbite or was that
18.
him?
That
That
was
was
sound
Donnie.
button. But like I went a while, and then trauma made it a little spicy, so that kind of affected my plans.
Yeah, it
I
all.
really wanted to wait till marriage. That was like really a goal of mine, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Grape.
Yep.
Grape.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least everybody's using the grape word instead.
Yeah, we figured it out. We
said
didn't
it in the
start.
comments, I'll
They
try
said it in
that.
the comments.
Oh, did they
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
y'all?
They said say
yeah.
grape.
Yeah,
Like,
I
okay.
Thank
didn't
you,
know. My bad on
commenters,
that,
for
guys.
telling. It's
Yeah,
fine. We
don't
didn't
get
say
mad at
something.
us for looking at the comments. Y'all are doing us a favor.
Yeah,
On
really.
that one comment. The
I
other one-
think my first time just happened because I wanted to please the dude that I was with, and as a virgin, I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool with it. Like in the middle of it,
Kind
I
of a
was like,
pick me there.
this is well, no, I mean, I
I'm
wouldn't
just
say
messing
pick me,
with
but
you. I'm just messing with you.
yeah, I guess a little bit, but I mean, it happened like in the middle of the night. We would both just happen to be sitting in my bed, and he was just like, hey, you want to do it? And I was like, I mean, I guess. I was like. If I say no, I just felt like he was gonna go and say, "Oh man, this girl's like a prude, whatever,"
Yeah.
and then I would like
Been there.
whatever. But we were also friends, and I was also like, I mean, if it's my first time, I would want it to be with a homie.
Yeah, at least you thought about it enough.
I thought about it a little bit.
The homie. What they said.
What they said. Okay.
Nice.
Well, that's really sad that the world is that messed up. Then, if that's true, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, ladies.
Yeah, we got one more.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was the next one?
We got $5 from Dr. Matt. Does your job or education make you more attractive to the type of men you want?
We'll start with you on that one.
I wouldn't say so. I think that guys are attracted to nurses by nature. I don't know why.
Because we're
Take care of
comforting.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're comforting. You take care of them.
Hospitality.
No, no.
They're
answer.
It's because nurses are easy.
Oh.
Nah, I don't think that, but the nurture, caregiver
It's
type
the
thing,
caregiver
you
type
know?
stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think a guy cares about your career and your
Okay,
income?
so
I
this
think,
is-
is that way you asked career and income, Donnie?
So, does your job
Education.
or education
Yeah.
make you more attractive to the type of men you want?
I've heard men say they do appreciate the fact that I'm getting an education and do like my views on it because I'm not really for college, but I'm doing it. And then for jobs, honestly, they seem to only appreciate it if they can put a sexual spin on it. So whenever I say, yeah, I do real estate or blah, 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 they're like, cool. And then whenever I used to be a teacher, they're like, damn, I want to be your student. Whenever I'm like, I stream, they're like, damn, what kind of streaming? And I'm like, no, my titties are covered. Like, this isn't that kind of thing. And then for nannying, they were like, babysit me. They always like turned it. They didn't care unless they could imagine a Halloween costume version of it.
Man, you definitely be
That's-
messing with the young dudes
I
that be
hate-
watching
I
too much
hate-
porn in
well,
your
no, that's just
generation.
what they fucking do. And I'm just like,
Wow.
Yeah, porn took over y'all's generation like crazy.
100%.
What about you,
Education,
though?
yes, because I go for people who are also educated. If I cannot have a
Oh, I answered
intelligent conversation with you, and not even just one, if I can't always expect that you're going to be smart in almost any circumstance, I don't want you, and therefore you're not going to want me. Two, career, every adult relationship I've had since I modeled as much as I have, they have always wanted to be there taking pictures, taking videos of it because they love it. It's one of the first things that they mention to people. Like they yeah.
They want to like show you off.
Yeah, no, it's not even that they want to show me this. They're just like, this is really cool. Like, I've never done this before. I love seeing how my last ex was just like, I love going to your photo shoots and stuff because he's like, I see you in one way and then you get like so professional and you're so concise and you just do this so well. And I've never seen what it takes to be a professional model. Like, I never thought so much goes into it. And so, yeah, they love what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny that they said intelligence. There was a study that was done. I can't say his fucking name. Satoshi Kananawa or whatever. It's a really cool Asian dude.
I love how well read you are.
Who's a professor. Yeah, I like evolutionary psychology because I just
Me
finished
too.
my 12th one like a week ago. I like Marty Hazelton a lot. Hormonal is by far my favorite. But like it's really it's funny that you like intelligence because you know
Sapiosexual.
he like showed that like intelligence for men and women it's a little bit different. Like the more money and the more successful and more intelligent a man is, the more likely he is to cheat.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's when we got
I
back
hate
to
it,
like
yeah.
once
Yeah,
the
'cause
guy
all the
has
women
more to
want him.
offer, more
Right.
women
More
want him.
options,
So
yeah.
yeah.
But it just sucks because like a lot of the stuff I talk on the show, I'm always like, y'all can be the exceptions. Okay, we're talking in generals and stuff. Like we're always talking in general. You can be the exception based off your intelligence. But the ironic thing about the intelligent thing is the more intelligent the man is, the more likely he is to cheat. So it's not always a good thing whenever you try to go off of the
For
the
the
nuance.
intelligence aspect and like like relating with the person, I feel like I'm not gonna like disclose my opinions, but I feel like politics is another thing where I want to be like intelligently related. I did not say that correct. I want us to have the same views on politics where we can hold conversations about it without it turning into a screaming fest. Because that's one thing that honestly, whenever I hear a dude talking politics and knowing his shit around the world, like
Have
it
you
gets
ever
me
had a dream
excited. I'm like,
that-
ooh, you're fine.
What
Stop
is
it! I know, I know. Stop
Donnie,
it.
you're so funny.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you go yet on this one? Or no? Yeah, I didn't go.
I almost think I'm too young to answer the question though, because I haven't had like a chance to be with a man who's like completely financially stable, and the opposite. I haven't finished my education, so I don't think that I can give like a good opinion about this. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good.
That's
What do you
valid.
think?
I feel like there's this question every time I'm on here.
Oh yeah, Dr. Matt loves asking this
Not
one to every
gonna lie,
panel.
But as I say every time, it depends on the person. Like if they care about education or whatnot. So yeah, just
Okay.
depends.
Turn on that
No,
Discovery
yeah,
Channel.
what do you think about that one, bro? Like, especially her answer.
What about?
What?
Like, do you think that like a guy likes likes all those things, like she was saying?
Nah.
I've just found in my experience they do, which maybe means that the kind of guys I go for are the ones that are a little bit, I don't want to say open-minded or simpy because like I said, I'm a very submissive partner, but fashion modeling is something I love doing. And that is an absolute, I'll admit it's the first thing. It is a trauma response because I didn't grow up cute. So the second I got cute and people started giving me attention and money for it, and that sounds really bad. I don't do OnlyFans and things like that. I'm not talking about that. But once brands started deciding that I looked good enough and I had a personality that they wanted to represent their brand, I snatched that up. And so I
Wow,
think
accountability.
That's
That's
valid.
awesome.
That's
I know
Accountability.
it is accountability. And I know, like I said, I was the ugly duckling in school. I'm the girl that girls in my high school will still comment on my Instagram posts and be like, I literally never thought it would have been you, but I'm glad it was. And so the second that I started getting that validation, I was like, you know what? There are worse things in the world I can do. Are there some that are more beneficial to the planet that I can do or other humans that I can do? Yeah, absolutely. But while I'm young and pretty, I
Might as
have my
well.
education behind me. So when I get older, I can either work in a different job if I want to. Hopefully at that point, I'm a full-time mom, so I don't need to be. But for now, I'm at an age where I want to model. And if you don't want that, I understand. If you don't want someone who's super active on social media, I understand. I get it. But then I'm not just going to go for you because it's not going to work out.
I want you to understand though, like most guys will lie to themselves though and be like, "Yeah, I can deal with this. Yeah, I like
Don't even
this."
get, like they
But
like it.
I just want you to understand though that guys lie not only to women all day, they lie to themselves too.
Oh, I'm sure
Guys,
they do.
guys all the time will be like, "Oh yeah, this doesn't make me
But I think
sure
there's
it's
also
nothing."
a pride thing. They're like, oh yeah, she looks good. She goes out and she does fashion modeling. She does runway. She has scouts coming up to her all the time. She has brands reaching out to her all the time. And at the end of the day, she still wants to come home to me.
Yeah, maybe
I think
some
it's a
guys
pride
prize it.
thing.
Yeah. What do you
Nah,
think?
Well, to kind of piggyback on what you said, most dudes care. Yeah, dudes, because they got to do the dual mate strategy thing. So he gonna look at you right away and go, "This is somebody I want to be with because you're pretty." But then once he want to look at you in the long term, if
it might shift in terms of what he wants.
The only reason the
as
dude
far as-
broke up with me is because he does see me long term and he had nothing to offer me in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that could be the case.
Yeah.
If that's probably what he told you. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
'cause
that's
I'm
why
telling
I
you,
can't
dudes
express
will-
to you that
dudes
guys
will lie
lie.
to you all the
Oh, I
time.
know they will. I know.
But just for the sake that they respect
And
you,
if he
they
lies to
don't
me,
wanna
that's
see you
fine. I
hurt.
don't want him in the long term anyway. If he's not going to ever be in a place where he can settle down with one person and he wants to have a family and wants to be accountable and responsible for one human, that's fine. That's what I want. So I'll just, if you're going to lie to me, that's fine. I'll find out eventually.
So you
In the meantime,
you
I'm
don't
gonna-
want a man that tells you the truth. I'm telling you.
No, I do want a man to tell me the truth because I'd rather not have to find out you're lying
if
and
I-
waste more time doing
Or, like
it.
whenever guys choose to ghost you in a relationship and they're just like, I'm just gonna stop talking to her for a few months and let her catch the hint and let
No,
her break
it
up with
wasn't
me.
even. It wasn't.
No, I'm
that.
just saying as an example. That's whenever I kind of agree with her because I would rather if a dude wants to end it with me, just like end it. Don't make it to where you're trying to torture me enough to end it with you because you don't have the backbone.
Well,
to
did
do
you
it.
sleep with him?
Well, like, well, I'm just going off of like example. Whenever my friends are like, I don't know what happened, and then like you hear the guy and he's like, yeah, I've been wanting to break up with her for 6 months, but I've just been like waiting for her to do it.
Yeah,
That's
ghosting usually comes after he sleep with you.
yeah, but yeah, I'm just
that's
talking about like
because
no,
that's
like
because
whenever
he didn't
they're
really see the
dating.
long term in the
Whenever-
at the beginning.
Yeah, but like
Nice.
whenever I see like people, whenever I see people that are dating and I hear about that, I'm like, damn, like that kind of sucks. He like if I was in that situation, I would rather have had him tell me like, hey, I don't want to be with you. And I'd be like, okay, don't leave
Yeah.
me on and let me be single.
And that's
I
like I
mean,
said, I'll find out one way or
take
the
it.
other. If
Yeah.
he does,
Like
take
if
him
you're not
long-term, they'll
about
come
me,
back.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I saw an amazing thing on Instagram today. Let them go. If they come back, they were always yours. If they did, or if they don't, they never were.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bummer.
Hey,
What
we got,
was
a,
the, what
we
was the
got
next
a lot
one?
of super chats.
What was the next one?
Yeah,
Oh,
next one we
shit,
got $5 from Refined Randy. Let me reward that better. Or
Reword.
reword that better. If you need him to be taller than you, how tall are you? And how tall does he need to be?
5'10", and I need him to be at least 6'2", so that I can wear heels and he's still taller.
That's reasonable.
Okay.
'Cause- Well, like you're 6 foot.
I'm
You're
5'10".
the-
I'm
5'10".
6'10"
Okay.
in heels,
And
so I
when I-
need him to be 2 inches taller than me in heels.
I feel like
Nice.
you're the type of girl that does deserve the tall man because you're tall. I'm
Thanks.
5'6", so don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for some like 6 foot giant. Like that would be cool because I would like to feel smaller because I'm a little wider. So it's like be bigger than me in some sort of aspect. But if you're like 5'10", 5'9", like I've been out with like 5'8", but it's just whenever I wore my shoes and I was
Maddie,
tiring
what
him,
height? What height?
pull
Just
it.
say the height. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Okay, I'm 5'3", so anything over that. I mean, 5'5", 5'6".
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
short, so it's easy for you, huh?
Mhm.
What about you?
I'm 5'5", so I would like at least like 5'8", 5'9" would be nice. But I mean, if you're 5'7", I'm not gonna fucking dock you for that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 5'3", but I wear like crazy amount of like heights of heels, so I prefer 5'8" or taller.
Yeah. Is the guy you're talking to?
Yeah,
That's
he's
all?
5'11" and basically 6 foot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the
All these
next one?
Cute little pixie girls make me feel like a giant.
Next one,
You're
$5
not.
from Refined Randy. If he needs to be taller than you, how tall are you? Which we already just
Yeah.
did. $2 from Gotta See Johnny. What actions did you take against Grapist?
That's
Too
a-
young
don't
to
know if we
know
should
that
get
I.
into that.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if we
You
should
don't
talk
even-
about
yeah.
that, bro. If
We
it's
don't
not
have
good for the
enough
channel,
time.
that's not good for the channel.
That's
All right,
not
go to the
good.
next one.
$5 from Refined Randy. Last super chat. Men, stop banging women who you don't want to marry. I used to be that guy. You're contributing to the problem. Find Jesus and read the book.
Yeah,
read the
find
Bible.
Jesus.
Yeah, you
Find
get it.
everybody find Jesus.
That also
Everybody.
I think should
Everybody
almost
find-
go
Hold up.
towards women as well. Though.
What were you saying? No, yeah, fully agreed.
That's
Fully
like
agreed.
telling a person that's hungry to not eat a sandwich when they finally get one.
Yeah, y'all gotta understand. These guys are walking around the desert. When they see water, their thirst quenched so hard they're just
I
happy
mean,
to
we
get
do
something.
too. We
Thir-
love getting
no,
beat
no,
down.
no, no. 33% of men are virgins anywhere having had sex this last year. For women, it is only 16%.
That's true.
Okay, it's completely that's half the number. And I would argue that a lot of those women they're like asexual or some
So they're
shit.
probably choosing to be.
Yeah. It's like more of a choice than it is for the guys. Like the guys are actually incels, like involuntary celibates. I gotta ask y'all really quick, ladies, what's a femcel? I'm sure some of y'all have
Oh, we
already heard
talked
this
about
one
that
before.
last time, and I made a very wrong guess. It
Yeah.
was funny. Okay.
No, I will, ladies. I'm just gonna spew it really quick. Usually, a femcel is somebody that can't get a relationship because a man is the gatekeeper of relationships. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. So if a guy can't get sex, he's an incel. He's a loser. But if a woman can't get a relationship, it's probably because you're doing something wrong as a woman. Because there's a lot of guys that want relationships, but there's probably something negative going on. Was there anything else, Donnie?
We got $5 from Ja Hennessy.
Yeah.
Given all of the differences, do you think love between a man and a woman is related to psychological egoism or something more?
Ooh.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
know if we have
You're
the time
going
to
crazy,
unpack
bro.
all that.
Yeah, that's a really. Bro, we're gonna have to do a whole show on that one. Hey, actually,
a good
Donnie,
one.
do me a
Yeah.
favor and write that down,
Yeah.
and we might do a whole subject on that for the next one. I
That's a
really
really
like.
good
Can you
one.
can you
really
read it one more
Part
time,
two,
Donnie?
part two.
Here, yeah, read it one
Can
more
you read
time.
it one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given all the differences, do you think love between a man and a woman is related to psychological egoism or something more?
Here, since you're our special guest, I want you to just answer this one since you talk on this
I really
subject a
don't
lot.
even-
You
I
don't
don't
even
even know
know.
where to start. Psychological
Yes or
egoism.
no?
Like, is it just all ego to be in love?
No, does it feed your psychological ego? Is like, does it feed your ego to be in love with someone? To have someone love you, does that feed your ego?
Oh,
Is that why we do it?
yeah. Well,
Well, like the people that are chasing each other, like the guys hoeing the girls because
Yeah.
they like feeling loved, and then the women that sit there and like use guys for dinners and shit like that, they like feeling like they're worthy, you
Why
know?
is it so
Is
calculated?
it, it's
Well,
it's
all
an ego
that's
thing.
like-
Why is it so calculated?
Oh God.
Well, but it's
It's
because
transactional.
it's just very easy because think about it. If you were a woman and you can get sex from the cool Chad guy, you know, he has the good dick game, but he's not taking you on dates, he's not taking you on vacations, he's not doing any of this. Well, that's fine. I'll keep fucking you, but I'll have this guy over here to take me on dinners, this guy over here to take me on trips, this guy over here to do this. It's easier to have a strategy with multiple men, like a roster, and do it that way than it is to find one guy that can do all those things for you. So and guys, it's the same. Like they'll have a roster of women, but they're actually smashing all of them. It's just the opposite.
I won't lie. You talked about that last time, and I didn't realize how many girls did that until after the podcast.
Yeah.
I started talking to my
Now you
friends.
start
I don't
moving.
know. I was caught up.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
proud of
no, I was like, hey guys, y'all have like 5 men at once for different things. Like, yeah, I watch movies with this one, I go out with this one, I fuck this one. I was like, why don't you do it all in one? I'm so confused.
Because the one guy with the good dick doesn't want to do all that with her.
I'm the kind of girl
That
that'll
sucks.
stay single until I find a guy
Exactly. Yeah,
that
same.
does all of it at once.
Yeah, and that- and
But
that- that's-
5
yeah.
guys at a
good.
time sounds
Yeah.
so
A lot of
tiring.
girls do that though, and I know guys that do it too. But I'm telling you, like my
I
girlfriend,
didn't know that was
like,
a thing.
dude, I
Well,
know. I was
it's just a
shocked.
modern name prostitution, like, especially
And
like
so,
women who will be like, yeah, he pays for this bill for me every month. You're just a prostitute.
and so
Y'all
what-
just have sex
what-
once a month and he pays that bill. You're just a prostitute.
And so what they want is they want perfection. They
Pay
want a
your
man that's
bills?
gonna do all of them. And
Mhm.
since they can't get that, they just go find little bits of it everywhere.
Yeah.
And what that does is that destroys them because they're gonna expect one man to be able to do all that, and one man ain't gonna be able.
And
to
there's
do all
never
that.
going to be
Never
one man
gonna
that
be
can do it.
guy.
Yeah, it's the worst thing you can probably do to your expectations. Is there another one, Donnie?
Yeah, there is. And real quick, most women are out here chasing a unicorn. That's it.
Yeah. What was the next one?
Next one, we got $5 from Brandon Jacobson. Shout out to Poor Man's Podcast. You're killing it, bro. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, dude. You really are killing it, bro. Is that it, Donnie? Another one?
Yep, that is it.
That's it, guys.
Oh,
Let's just
gosh.
ask our last question. We just like to know, what did you think of the show? Would you come back? And was there any point that you liked a lot that was fun or anything?
Shit, we just got another super chat.
Oh my god.
Here, yeah, do it really quick.
All right. We last super chat. So $5 from Refined Randy. I lied. Women, how do you feel about hookup culture, and what is your body count? P.S. Thank you for coming back to back. Poor Man Pod.
Yeah.
Can I just go out there and
answer
say
really
I
fast.
don't want to answer that?
I'm not answering the body.
That's
yeah,
fine.
I'm not answering body
Stupid.
count.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
No,
You
nobody
answer
wants to
it,
answer
buddy
it like
boy.
that. That's fine. Does anybody want to answer their body count?
I don't care.
No.
Nobody wants to answer.
Oh.
Hey,
So how do y'all feel about that?
so does body count matter, ladies?
I don't think.
Yeah.
that
yeah.
No, it's just-
Come on now, that don't make no sense.
No,
How y'all ain't gonna answer the question and then say it don't matter? That don't.
yes,
that don't
it
make
matters, yes. But again, like we've already clarified, there are different contexts for why a body count is what it is, and we don't have the time, nor are we responsible to
Yeah,
explain
yeah,
that
yeah.
to people on the internet.
Yeah,
I
but
think
no
that
matter.
it doesn't matter, but I think men care. I think girls, we all really know. We
Well,
view
Yeah,
it
you don't
differently.
care.
Men go, oh, high number, horde. So that's
Well,
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
care because you know your baby is yours when it comes out of you. A man doesn't know that.
Well,
And
none of
so-
us are having babies. Are any of us pregnant?
It's a
I know,
biological
right?
wire.
Yeah,
It's hardwired.
yeah,
You're
agreed.
This is
hardwired.
what we like expect.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Just like
but-
y'all want driving, integrity, and all these different things y'all want.
Y'all want a
That's just
sex
one of the things
object.
we
We want a
But
sex
what if
object.
she's a good woman? She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's giving you femininity.
Well, yeah. It
but
can
you
supersede.
find out how-
It can
yeah,
definitely- Yeah.
It can supersede, but you can't.
Yeah.
The problem with being a hoe is it come with hoe tendencies.
Yeah, but also, what if she was like 15 and she racked up her body count to 20, and then she's only slept with one person in her college?
Like, there's a lot
You know,
of
I mean,
stuff.
that's just a born again
body
virgin.
count
Like
is
it's just
over your
it's just
entire
it's just
believe
the
in
born
born
it's just
again
the it's just the born again. I'm not saying that girl's calling herself a born again virgin, but you're basically saying everything happened in my past. It's not a big deal. It's like what he said the other day. If a guy beat women in his past, would you be with him? a lot of y'all wouldn't. We're all gonna judge a book by its cover, or we're all gonna judge people based off their past. If you go to court right now for any type of charge, they're gonna say, well, what did you have in your past? Did you get a felony here? Did you do this? Did you do that? When you go buy a car, you want to look at the Carfax. It doesn't matter what it is. You're always going to want to do that. And especially when a guy, like I said, when we have kids, the trauma that your woman has is going directly into your children. If she had a
Same with
horrible
dudes.
childhood, like I said, guys are disposable though. Like we throw away those dudes that are super messed up. It doesn't matter. The difference is that y'all have to be protected. Y'all are the vulnerable sex, and it's always been that way for all of history.
Yeah. All right. Let me just read these last two. They're literally coming in
There's
waves.
more? Yeah.
Last
Can
two.
you turn them off?
Last two.
Yeah.
$5 from Jaw Hennessy. Sorry. Psychological egoism is the idea that everything we do is out of self-interest or for self-benefit.
Oh, there's a word for that
No,
too.
yeah, no, I don't think that our love is just out of that
Yeah.
because it comes with too much sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to.
It's altruism, actually.
I'm willing to die for my wife. So.
Aw.
Well,
Good gang.
I mean, yeah. Well, if
That's
it's gonna be
expected, bro.
sacrificial, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You hit
It's
the like
expected,
button on
brother.
that.
If
You
it's
hit the like button for that one.
sacrificial, if I'm willing to completely sacrifice myself, I'm not just doing it for my ego at that point. I mean, you could.
Yeah, I mean,
just one of them
to
things, like-
die as a guy with
That's really
pride,
meta.
as
That's
courage.
like very meta. Like it takes a lot to get into that. We don't need to
Yeah.
go into all
Yeah.
that right now.
But I think
Yeah.
love comes with too much sacrifice for it to just all be your ego. And if that's what it is, then you probably ain't.
I
you know,
1000% agree. I actually think it's the opposite to love, and Jesus teaches this, like to love somebody else more than yourself, to be able to fully serve somebody else. Oh no, and show devotion. Oh, it's the opposite of ego, bro. It's
Yeah.
absolutely the opposite of
If
ego.
I was just going off
Actually,
ego-
the devil, darkness, everything of that is ego.
His ego.
It's
Yeah.
ego. It's the opposite to do to be
Yeah.
in relationships and to love somebody. Was
Yep.
there another one?
Yeah.
Donnie?
Very last chat. So $5, Dr. Matt. The blonde is a perfect example of a woman to avoid. Glad she was on the show tonight. Good case study.
He's an eye surgeon. He's a really smart dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's really smart.
Wow.
I don't know how we should feel about that one. Shout out to Dr. Matt. Thank you, bro. Sorry, I didn't press that one. Somebody or guys, what's
Wow.
your what y'all think of the show? Would you come back? And was there anything that you liked?
So I enjoyed the show. Of course, I'm more than willing to come back. I like the show.
Hell yeah.
I did learn something. I don't think people are as honest as they say they are. You know, I think like
We're scared to be honest.
Yeah.
Society, literally, I'm telling y'all, I can't even say the shit that I'm saying. It's a gynocentric society. You cannot say this shit without getting canceled from pussy, canceled from your family, or canceled from your job.
Yeah.
You cannot. So they're lying to y'all because they're scared. That's it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd definitely come back because I did come back today, so I would do it again. I enjoyed the show. I like that you came on. It was really fun having like another guy guest here to share his
Yeah.
opinions. And I said this last time for what I liked about the show, but I'm gonna say it again because y'all maintained it again very well. Y'all don't just go after us, bashing us, being like the one show I was talking
Like
about
crush
last
and
time
fit,
where they're
yeah.
like, take off your makeup, tell me your body count, you're a whore, this is why. You actually let us talk about what we're going on, and y'all are like, hey, this isn't aimed at you, this is just women in general and studies, let's talk about it. So I really appreciate the openness on y'all's end too.
Awesome. What did you think?
It was different. This is very different than any other podcast I've ever done before. Yeah, I would probably come back. Me and Matt, we should probably have some words.
Oh, he actually comes on the
Oh,
show a
yeah.
lot. He'll come on.
Set that up, Matt.
Next time Matt comes back, let's go.
Hey, we setting that
you
up.
and I,
We setting that
opposite
up.
ends of the table.
He ran for Texas Senate. He's a very smart man.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Nothing
Oh,
against him.
It's
Love
gonna be
that for you.
it'll be a great debate.
Let's
for
do
sure.
it. Yes, I'll come back for that.
We're setting it up, man.
Yeah, we'll set it up. What about you?
It was my first time, so of course I would love to come back. Maybe with the smaller panel, just because I feel like it'd be easier.
Oh
to
yeah,
do
come
one
on Monday or
Yeah.
Wednesday for the smaller
I would
panels. They're
absolutely
fun.
love it.
We'll pull up.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good insight. And I mean, as like a younger person, I like to listen and hear like other people's. Like, I mean, you're a little bit older than me, so of course I love to hear your opinion because I mean, you've experienced the world a little bit more than I have, especially in relationships and stuff. As you are newly engaged, and that's so exciting for you. So yeah, I would definitely love to come back.
Yeah, no, we're getting women engaged all the time. You're like the fourth girl that's came on the show that's gotten engaged since like because of me talking
Noted.
or like doing the show with
When
them.
is it my time to shine?
Huh?
Be engaged?
I know, but somebody's next.
Yeah, I definitely come back. I mean, it's not my first time here, so. But something I like is that I get to see everybody's different perspectives. Like everybody has a different point of view and an opinion, so it's nice, like seeing
Yeah,
all
to
that.
hear.
And then-
Yeah.
No, shout out to y'all, man. This was a
Definitely.
really fun panel for me, guys. Shout out to Poor Man's Podcast. Reacts.
Yeah.
Y'all need,
for having me.
dude,
man.
dude, everybody needs to go check out his channel. There's not another channel that's pushing comedy and red pill content like this, like his guys. please go check him out. Drop the like and subscribe on him. Drop the like and subscribe for us. Turn the notification bell on. Go follow all these girls on Instagram right now and show them some love. They drove all the way out here. Show them some love back. Shout out to my boy Bassett. Shout out to my producer Donnie.
Europe.
And we will see y'all on Monday, guys. We'll see if I have a special guest for y'all. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Peace out.
Bye.
Motherfucker.